internet things.
We're doing internet things. Look
Are
at
we
us doing
live? I don't
internet
know when we're
things.
live.
We are live, yes.
Guys, welcome to the WIP Sprints. We're the Northern Knits podcast, and today we're going to do 25-minute intervals of whatever craft, chore, and or food consumption option of your choice.
We're
We
very
believe in
flexible.
variety on this channel. And in fact, my grocery order's running late, so at some point Diana's going to have to hold the fort because all you're going to see is me leave the screen. I need to go get my foodstuffs. I like ordering the heavy groceries because I walk and bus everywhere, so I don't like carrying a liter vinegar
That makes
plus
total sense,
5
having
pounds
somebody
of
else
potatoes. Like, I'd
deliver.
rather I'd
Yeah.
rather tip a dude, pay through an app, have somebody else pick up the groceries, have a dude drive them here, drop them off. Usually, dude. Sometimes it's a girl. More often than not, it's a dude. I'd love to see more female drivers. I would love to see more female drivers. But it does mean that I have to go help because it's a lot of heavy items and I don't want to be that person. I live up a 3-story walk up. Now I'm not on the third floor, but I am up on the
Yeah.
second floor.
You might have to tip more if you were on the third floor.
I, well, I don't tip in app. Like if you just come drop in your rude, you don't get a tip. But if you come drop off and offer to help me carry it up the stairs, there's cash money and I tip you cash. So it's completely under the table and not trackable. But you don't just get a tip from me
mm.
via the app. You need to actually do something that's above and beyond. The basics do not earn you a tip from me. I'm the same way when I go to restaurants. A basic does not get you a tip.
This is not
If you do,
America. Well, actually, no, we still don't pay people a living wage remotely,
we
but
don't pay
it's.
people a living wage across the board. So I'm not, unless you're union, I'm not worried about it. Nobody gets paid well. But I get ignored enough in restaurants that I refuse to assume that you
Oh,
automatically get
jeez.
to have a tip from my ass. I refuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you, especially now that I have the cane and people know I'm disabled, if you cannot look at my face and take my order, why am I tipping you? I'm here under my own power. I am my own person. The person I am with is not my helper. They are my friend or my date or a family member. You talk to me, not at them about me. If you cannot
Yeah.
treat me like a human, you get no tip. If you forget me because I'm hanging out with pretty people and you'd rather flirt with the boy I'm with, you get no tip.
That seems fair.
I
The
have
tip was getting to flirt with
standards,
the pretty boy.
which is fine. Go ahead and flirt with them. I'm friends with many a single male who are exceedingly pretty. Heck, I'm friends with a single male who could pass for Daniel Radcliffe. I don't mind. Go ahead. Please flirt with them. 9 times out of 10, they have no idea what you're doing anyway, which just amuses me more. But don't forget my ginger ale refill. Like, I'm not engaging you in conversation. I know what you're doing. I want a refill on my pop. Bring me the refill. We're fine. Forget my refill, or I have to ask him to fetch you to get my refill. We both won't be tipping you because at that point, then so and so realizes what it is that's been happening to me the whole meal.
Hmm.
Just don't forget. Just don't forget. It's not that hard. I'm a pretty chill person to serve because go sideways. That's what life is. It's fine. Not the end of the world. I will adapt and change things. But yeah, no, I'm just like, no. I tip manually. You cannot trust people to get it through. Um,
That makes me feel better about my soft skills for work. Like, the bar is low.
the bar is low, guys. Like, just be a decent human. It's not. And I worked retail for 15 years, so like, don't even come at me. I worked customer service for a very long time. As my job, I earned a living wage on it. Job, which tells you I was not a key holder. I was upper management. I worked some long hours. I missed. There were many Christmases where the reason we didn't meet before noon was because that was my only day off in the entire month of December. So I was sleeping. In fact, the rule still is you can't talk to me before 10 a.m. on Christmas Day because it's ingrained in my family.
It's a very solid rule.
because no, because no, because no. So I don't think it's too much to ask for. But again, you go above and beyond, I absolutely will tip because I know you're not making a ton of money. I know you're not making a ton of money. It'd be
Yeah.
rude not to.
I feel like I worked so much harder as a waitress than at any job I've had since.
Customer service works 2 to 3 times harder than any other industry, and they
It's
get paid the
crazy.
least, and they get the most garbage dumped on them. It is just, it's offensive how absolutely we verbally and mentally and just physically harass and intimidate service industry people, and we wonder why nobody can hack it in the industry.
It's, yeah.
Oh, I was watching a
People are
reel.
mean.
People are mean. I was watching a reel where one guy was talking about being an ally for the feminist movement and being pro women's rights and stuff, and realizing that even if he was with the other 9 out of 10 guys who aren't the problem, because none of the 9 out of 10 guys will stand up when the 1 out of 10 is doing the bullying, the other nine are still the problem. I'm like, there we go. Now we get it. Doesn't matter if you're not doing it. If you don't stand up when you see it being done, you are also a part of the problem.
Yep.
Which probably explains why I get into a lot of trouble when I'm out on the street and I call people out when they're not being interacted with me. When I get rude back in their faces to defend the people who are working behind the counter because I have very little patience for it. Too many years as a manager, too many years of people not understanding full quotes, not bothering to read fine print and thinking they're always right. I just don't have the patience for
Oh,
it
yeah,
anymore.
the number of people that are like, the customer is always right. I'm like, nope,
That's
you
not
are
the that's
categorically wrong here.
A, that's not the complete quote. B, that is inaccurate. It is inaccurate. Though I still never topped the death threat
Okay,
for
I never got
closing
one of
the store,
those.
for closing the Dollarama Christmas Eve, already 20 minutes late past closing, because how dare I cancel this dude's kid's Christmas because he couldn't figure out how to buy Christmas presents before or after closing on Christmas Eve. To note, guys, I closed the store 20 minutes late because me and the teenagers I was working with all agreed we'd give everybody an extra 10-15 because it's a busy time of year. Those kids had to go home to their families.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Oh, man.
Really? You're going to stand in front of this 5 foot, 5'4" skinny teenage girls and scream at them? No, that's it.
Yeah, we're gonna throw a
Mean
tantrum like
me's
a
coming out.
child. We're
Mm-mm,
gonna
mm-mm,
send you home like a child.
mm-mm. I got
Oh
the
my
page up
gosh.
to the front, and there are code pages that people have. And no, I won't tell you what they are because then you don't know what they are, and they're different for every store. I do that code page, and me and the boys started working our way up from the back because I'm old and they're big. I had a lot of footballers work for me,
Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and I was just like, nope, here we go. There's
And
always
then
one a
just
season.
says, I've seen personally customers calling out rude behavior from other customers, so things are changing slowly,
Thank
but they're
God.
changing. Getting there.
Hello.
Grocery delivery. I'll take this moment to say hello to everybody in chat.
Absolutely, I can
Hello,
meet you down at the door. Just give me a second.
hello to Nikki and Melanie and Tracy and Asa.
Well, you guys greet people. I'm gonna go help the dude who isn't going to be earning a tip. I can just sense it. I'll be back.
Nikki, can I consume coffee for 25 minutes straight? I mean, you're allowed to try. I don't know if that's a good idea. I might suggest interspersing it with other activities. But if you want to try, you are more than welcome to do so. At 2:30 in the afternoon sounds like a great idea. Actually, it sounds like a late Saturday night is what that sounds like. Tracy has jet lag. Jet lag kicking my butt. Just sleeping 13 hours after 2 nights of only 4 hours. Ooh, that's right, because you're coming back from like European places. I want to say Italy, but I feel like that was a different trip. I'm sorry. I don't remember which fancy vacation you're coming back from that I'm very jealous of. But yes, jet lag does suck. I can hardly remember the last time I gave a tip. I only tip if they do more than what I expect from the regular work. See, that's how I think it should work. And it's super not how it works here, and it works even less that way in the States. Like, tipping culture in the States blows my mind. And it's like kind of sort of similar in Canada, and it's we should just pay people more to deal with the crap that they have to deal with, and then we don't have to tip. That'd be cool. I feel like places you tip customer service works so hard more than most jobs and never get paid enough, and they put up with and endure too much. Yes, like the amount of empathy I have, like I've been where you are, and like, yeah. The Sunday morning church crowd in a small town, not nice. Sunday morning church crowd is not nice people. It'd be like lined up, like the place church gets out whatever time, at I don't know, 10:30 or whatever, and then the restaurant would open at 11, and they'd be lined up, and they'd, if we opened like a fraction of a second past 11, they'd be like so grumpy already, and we only just had enough waitresses. We really needed a dishwasher. The owner would never hire a dishwasher. So the waitresses had to wash the dishes. We also didn't have enough cups. So we were always running out of cups. None of which was our fault. But we got to take all of the ire of the lovely Sunday morning church crowd. I remember the anxiety of going to the Sunday morning shift of that job, like, would literally be nauseous because it was that bad. Peppermint mocha creamer. Sorry, completely switching gears. Peppermint mocha creamer sounds amazing, and I'm going to need to find some of that. Changed a bit here when tip had to be shared between everyone at work and you had to pay tax. Interesting. So the tip isn't just for the one person. And it's taxable. I don't know if tipping is taxable in Canada. I never made enough for anybody to care. So I never figured it out. Or never bothered to like track my tips or anything. I think technically it's income, but like nobody cared. I had to work the brunch crowd on Sundays. It sucked. What is it about the Sunday morning brunch crowd that they're just the crabbiest people in the universe? Like, is that a universal thing? Because I've been blaming the small town church crowd all this year, but all this time. But maybe it's just the Sunday brunch crowd, just in general. Anybody who does Sunday brunch. My husband had to take customers into the back of the staff room once as another staff frantically closed the metal door they used because a gunman was robbing the store next to them. Holy! Okay, I've never had to deal with that. That's scary. Pointed a gun at my husband's... Oh my god, did he lock the door? Oh my... That's scary. That's so scary. It is taxable in Canada, but cash is hard to track. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, does the government really care about the $20 extra from your shift? I feel like they don't. If maybe you're working in an industry where you're making like hundreds in a night in tips, they might care, but nobody cared about my $20. I used to be for I'm getting it, but that meant that the chefs and dishwashers never got any and they worked just as hard. Yeah, that sucks because they're in the back and they can't They're being paid just as crap as the people working in the front, but they don't have the opportunity for tips. There was some kind of percentage share at the end of, I remember the place that I worked, we shared some percentage with the kitchen staff at the end. I don't remember what it was. It was probably not enough. I want to say it was like 20% or something, but I don't remember. In Canada, it depends on how the place you work deals with tips. If they report it, then it's taxed. The place I work definitely would not have reported it. Man, the owner of that place treated it like it was such an inconvenience. Like, dude, this is your income. What do you mean it's an inconvenience? If you don't want to do it, then do something else. I worked a 4 to 12 today. The store, it doesn't open till 4:30. Had someone who was so pissed off he couldn't get coffee at 4:10. Oh my god, like it's the morning crowd. The morning crowd is the worst. Like they're not morning people, the morning crowd, you know? And they're gonna make it your problem. My goodness. Gotta wait 20 minutes for your coffee. Tips are income, and you can get penalized for not reporting it on your tax return. Hi, Susanna. Yeah. But again, nobody's going to care about the $20. Whatever. I simply don't get paid enough. Tips are a must. Also, my husband's job did not take tips. Still customer service. Oh, yeah. Because, like, retail doesn't do tips. Which, I don't know. Retail doesn't do tips. Table service does tips. Counter service even has a tip jar usually. I don't know. I am aware of how much crap nothing they get paid, so I pretty much no, always. I always tip, and it's like there's like the bare minimum amount, like you've done your job, and then the like increasing percentages of you did your job well kind of thing, because I have the privilege of, or had the privilege anyway, of fancy tech salaries, so I figure I can spread it around a little. I find myself getting a little more stingy now that I don't have that fancy income. Just a little bit. But yeah. Service industry does not get paid enough. Been doing tax returns since 1985, and tips have been an issue since before. Yeah. Well, tips are always going to be an issue because it's just cash, right? Nobody's tracking that. Tips from Tim's is my yarn fund. That's a good way of looking at it. In the UK, we don't do tax return unless you're self-employed. Tax taken out each payday by employer. Oh, wait, so you don't, oh, I feel like we've talked about this before. There's just no tax returns in the UK unless you're self-employed. Whereas here you always have to do a tax return, and if you're self-employed, there's just extra papers in it, basically. If you're going to tip, do it with cash, not on your card. Exactly, and then it's not trackable. And then nobody has to worry about it. This grocery delivery is taking a while. I want to start this sprint. All done by employer. See, that would be really nice if I just didn't have to do that. Because I don't know why we don't have that here. Because the employers are like doing a bunch of stuff anyway. Can't they just do the rest of it? I don't know. What's Jocelyn doing? She's receiving a grocery delivery right now, and she's helping carry heavy things upstairs. So she should be back shortly. Just did my 25 minutes of coffee drinking. Time to speed knit. Do it. Get it done so fast. Here the employer takes out tax before paying your salary, and they transfer. So, but they also take out income tax from us too, but then it's on us to fill out the paperwork to get the tax return back. Hi, we've been talking taxes and tips.
Sure.
We're now a financial podcast.
Oh,
We're an
okay. I would.
international financial advice podcast.
Oh, God. That seems unwise.
See, this is why you shouldn't leave me alone.
Oh. Well, so long as you got helpful tips.
Well, I learned that in the UK, they don't have to file tax things. What tax returns, income tax things? They don't have to do that in the UK unless you're self-employed because the employer just does it all, which seems like it makes so much sense.
Yes and no. Easier? Absolutely. Good?
Yeah, fair point. You just know they do it in the way
It's
that was
like,
most beneficial to them.
I know governments. And I don't
Fair,
really have a ton
fair.
of nice things to say about governments. My
That's
favorite parts about governments exist because of the church. So it's a problem.
all right.
It's a
I'm
problem.
pulling up my pattern for the thing that I'm going to work on.
Okay. I'm gonna throw my sweater off because yeah, no, he totally didn't help me bring the groceries up the stairs. So that was 2 rounds of 20 something stairs, 27 stairs.
Oh, you have to
Plus
do it all
Phaedra
yourself?
helping me. I had to do it all myself. Plus
Oh,
Phaedra helping me go through the packages to find what needs to go in the refrigerator and or contains things the cat shouldn't have. I left the bag of dates on the stove. I was gonna bring the dates and eat them.
well, you can still go get them. I haven't started the timer yet.
No, let's do a WIP sprint. I've already missed enough. One day, one day, I will have enough money in the account to order a Hudson bagel and soup after one of these.
Ooh,
The hankering for freaking roasted, nope. Yeah, roasted tomato and basil soup and the turkey club bagel. I have a hankering for it. That's what I want. I don't even want bagel chips. Don't get me wrong. I would take bagel chips, but I don't want bagel chips. We've reached soup and sandwich season. We've
we
reached
have.
soup
I
and
must
sandwich
agree.
season. And I want a Hudson bagel turkey club. Yes, on a chocolate chip bagel.
Yeah,
Don't
I'm still.
judge
That's
me.
still weird. It's still weird.
You haven't tried it. You don't know.
I still think it's weird.
You haven't tried it. You don't. It's a salty sweet thing. Works great.
I'm not big on the salty sweet,
Fair. I'm not big on the sour salty, so
and I
but
love sour like an unhealthy amount. I will
and I'm
damage
I'm
my mouth with sour things.
I will absolutely do a salty sweet thing. But that like a and the big bowl of fire roasted tomato, which is just roasted tomatoes in the oven, and basil soup. Oh, that sounds amazing. With like
It's
a
my crochet
cookie.
hook.
I want to crochet and I want to knit. I'm bored. I'm free of the brace. I'm free of the tape. My hand doesn't hurt, but I know I'm not allowed to till Monday. Apparently, I had an
Very
eyelash
rude.
in my eye. But if I start early, I'll just injure myself again. So I can't start early.
I'm gonna work on a
Literally, that's
couple
my MO.
of triceratops.
Well, I thought of a
Um,
couple of things, and I posted this morning in Discord, but we was all busy with life this morning, so I have some things. Though I won't lie, I absolutely did stop and open up the chocolate milk that came in the grocery order and poured it in my mug.
I mean that seems reasonable. Nikki's gonna work on her blanket.
Ooh, yeah, it's because your blanket MCAL starts soon. Oh my god! Oh my
Apparently,
god!
Nikki's
Oh
husband
my
used
god!
to, as a kid, would eat tuna fish sandwiches with chocolate chip. Tuna with chocolate chip.
See, that seems weird to me, but all right. Some people like cheese and tomato, or what's
Yeah.
other weird ones? They put cheese on things, and I'm just like, I don't get it. Look, swag mug, swag mug.
All right, I'm gonna
Which
start our
isn't
timer.
which isn't what's yeah, start our timer. I'll pick something.
Start.
Which isn't why I'm going, oh my god. The reason I'm going, oh my god, is because I was catching up on well, it's not really catching up on cozy up knits, because like the girls have been gone for ages, it feels like. Probably not actually that long, but it feels like ages. They're not running an MCAL this year for their knit along and starting in January. It's just going to be a cozy up cal. So any of the cozy up knit patterns are going to count. No
Oh.
whips though. It has to be a cast on. And I'm like, I've been looking for an excuse to cast on some of the cozy up knit designs I have, patterns I own. I feel like I might have to do that.
That does sound like something you would do.
With what time while running an MCAL? That's not that's
Yeah, I don't
that's not
know
what we're
when you're
talking about
gonna
here.
do that.
Listen. Listen. I was watching Louise and the Fiber Friends this morning. No, really, what the heck am I going to work on right now? I'm going to
Where are
spin
my
because I
snips? Does anybody know where my snips are?
to the left of you, down in the bottom right hand corner at 2 o'clock. I don't know.
None of those instructions were correct, I'm afraid.
I had a like not 0% chance, but a really low percent chance of not working.
Well, I actually legitimately don't know where my small snips are. Oh,
Get the big snips.
never mind. You were actually right. They were on my left.
No way.
Not 2 o'clock because that's on my right, but the what like 10 o'clock, the left hand equivalent of 2 o'clock.
Two
You
o'clock
were
is 10
actually
o'clock.
right. You were right.
So how come you people can't help me when I go, hey, do you know where this is in my space? I tell you.
Because you don't put things in a place that I would put them, so I can't help you.
I don't put things in a place where I should be putting them, so it's not like it's just you. It's me too.
Oh, Knitting Purple says it's next to the thingy.
It's next to the thingy. Yeah, that's
You're
also a
right,
good
it was
description.
next to the
Next
thingy.
to the
Thank you.
thingy. That sounds about right.
Us having tea in the swag mug. Crafty Chemist has made it. Just got back from getting my flu shot. Excellent.
Yeah, mine's this week. I was supposed to go to D&D tonight, but like the mom's sick, so the kid's probably sick, and the dad's probably sick, and the uncle is sick, and
Oh, that sounds
one
like
of the
everybody's
players is
sick.
getting over a cold, and I went, do you know how much of a pain in the butt it is to to book an egg-free shot in this country? No, I'm calling in.
Yeah,
I am not
that.
going. I am not going. I am not risking that. I am not risking that.
No.
I could take an egg flu shot and then I'm sick for a week because I'm allergic to the egg, which is a
That's
common
just.
binding ingredient in flu shots. And that's fine. A lot of people can have egg in their flu shots. It's not a problem for them. I cannot, so I get a specialty one that is egg free. They don't make as many of those because they're harder to make. I'm just going to drop some fiber on the microphone. Don't mind me.
Okay.
Phaedra,
Not
I
minding.
swear, if you are a nuisance today, Mother
When
will
is
have
she
your
not a
head.
nuisance?
She didn't wake me up at 3 this morning to talk to me, which has been our routine all week this week.
Oh,
You know,
okay. Well, that's an
doing
improvement.
3 a.m., wanders over next to my ear, whatever ear happens to be up, right? And just starts talking to me. Like, what are you telling me about your nightly travels? Like, am I getting the security update for the territory that is the apartment?
I
I
mean,
checked the
maybe.
windows and doors before I went to bed, but I'm glad you did the 3 a.m. prowl. Like,
You
were your
gotta
toys in
know.
the wrong spate? Did you knock your water? Like, I don't know what it is you're telling me, and I don't want to get out of bed to go find out. You're not throwing up on me. I'm just it'll sit until morning.
Yep.
No, this morning it was a woman deciding to vocally expunge her woes out of her person
Oh,
for
okay.
an hour at starting at
Oh,
5 this morning.
wow. That's a lot of.
And
That's very early to have so many woes.
to do it loud enough to be heard over the steam heating in this apartment tells you how loud it was.
Wow.
She
That's
was
impressive. Has
very
she considered
aggressive.
opera?
You know, I thought she would have taken the suggestion. Well, I would have asked. But no, it's fine. I replied to a text from my brother in law because I can do those sorts of things at 5 in the morning because his phone is set to do not disturb unless it's work at that point. Or if it isn't, it's because he's at work for the day, which
It's
is
too early to be
fine.
at work.
When you are a department manager at a grocery store, your inventory happens during non-store hours. Your checks happen during
I
non-store
know.
hours,
I
and
understand intellectually how that works. It's still too early.
your salary, which means if your work is not done at the end of the week, you get to stay late. If your
I
employees don't show
understand
up, you get to
intellectually
do.
how all of that works. I still think
It
it's gross.
sucks. It is gross. I had one friend who said he got yelled at, got cussed out by a little old lady because he didn't have turkeys.
I thought nobody had turkeys really right now.
It was just before Thanksgiving.
Ah, yeah, well, it's just before Thanksgiving. Who's got turkeys
Yeah,
still?
yeah. He was not shocked because at least one little old lady every year cusses him out for not having the exact thing she wants the day before Thanksgiving.
Right, right. I wonder if I should buy a turkey and freeze it. I should probably buy a turkey now, hey?
I do. I tend to buy them early to mid-November when you've got the best selection. Like the moment you see them show up in the grocery store, I find a good price. I find the right size because some of them can be monstrous.
Yeah,
I'm
well, I'm
one
gonna
human.
need
I don't need a
I'm gonna
turkey
need
for a
turkey
batillion.
for 6
You're
at
gonna need
the
a
beginning of
beast.
December.
You're gonna need a beast.
Because my parents are coming and we're doing early Christmas because it's significantly cheaper to fly earlier in December.
Yes, it
Like,
is.
by like,
A
it's like literally
lot.
3 times cheaper
By
to
a
do it that
lot.
first week than to do it the week of Christmas.
By a lot. It is like, oh, if you can get people to wrap their brain around unassociating that it has to be on that one day, and it really only has to be on that one day if it's your faith. If it's your faith, it has to be that one day. If it is not your faith, just move the day. Just move the day. You're still
Yeah, and like,
celebrating.
my parents are pretty much anti-religion, so
So just move the day.
they had some traumatic early childhood experiences with their various churches, so they're kind of anti-religion.
That's the church. That's not the whole church, but that's just their specific church.
Yeah, so like,
Yeah. Which
yeah,
is always crummy when you
intellectually
hear
aware
about
of the
it.
things, but like it means that our family, there's zero religion in our family.
My family's religious. We just don't all share the same one. One, two. In my
Sorry, I've
immediate
been
family,
neglecting chat.
we have
Everybody's getting
two,
flu
three.
shots.
Yes, you should get your flu shot.
Everybody's getting flu shots. Melanie got her last shipment of Aran yarn. Oh, I got my shipment of Aran yarn too.
Excellent. Guys, to be honest, Aaron shows up and we have coffee. So, like, my shipments just kind of happen sporadically. And I understand that I'm privileged, and I accept that about myself.
You're just casually gonna have tea with the. There we go. Just
With the
casually
dyer?
have tea with the
Yes.
dyer, yeah.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And we'll talk about the stuff that she's working on.
I'm attempting to negotiate an
And she'll
increase.
remind me that I volunteered to help her wrap advent calendars again this year. Oh boy, I sure did. Thank God we didn't plan on doing that till early November. Because if I tried to do that last week, that would have just
Oh yeah,
sucked.
that's yeah, that wouldn't have
So I'm
worked.
super glad I did not injure myself this week. That would have really been awful timing.
I
Oh
can
yeah,
stick
anyway.
labels.
Oh, we don't want me sticking labels. I'll put them on upside down. This is a professional operation. Such a bad idea.
Oh.
Uh, but I was watching the Fiber Friends this morning. Now, on Monday, I'm watching the New Start Monday with Louise on Louise's channel, like Wildflower and Wolf. I always watch on Monday. I love her New Start Mondays. I love voting. I get a great deal of enjoyment out of the whole process, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting here eating my food, not technically at the computer. I did that on I watched on the phone on Monday. Mostly because I know my mom puts us on the big screen TV in the living room, and I am
Mm-hmm.
unwilling to do that to Louise in my living room. So if I'm out of the living room, I just watch on my phone. I'm not paying attention, and we're chatting and done. And Louise is like, "Oh, like maybe I should do a sweater in November." Not even thinking. I said, "Yeah, sure, why not? Like, totally do it up. You want to do a sweater? Do a sweater." I didn't realize I was signing up to also do a sweater in November for Christmas.
Oh, I see. There was some miscommunication, or was it more of a twist your very bendable rubber arm?
More like it was, "Oh, hey, and Jocelyn should join." And Jocelyn went, "Yeah, sure, why not? I say yes to lots of things that get me into trouble. This is just one more example of that." So apparently, I'm doing a sweater for the secret crafting next month. That's right, I injured my hand 2 weeks ago almost. Where did I put that fiber?
And you're
On the
just
microphone.
gonna do a whole sweater.
Yeah,
No big
birdies.
deal.
No biggie. What could possibly go wrong?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
While
11, 12.
catching up,
There.
on MCal knitting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm so smart. SMRT. That's okay. I was watching her this morning, and she's also apparently going to knit a doll thing every day. I missed most of it, which I go, oh, and do a sweater, and Christmas knit, and New Start Mondays.
Yeah.
I feel like my level of crazy is just not that bad.
So also wants to know if you're doing a sweater in November and December.
Pretty much, yeah, that's how that works out.
Cool.
Good thing November's can be a whip because I already asked because I don't want to do an ugly Christmas sweater because I wouldn't wear it.
Mm.
Because the festive sweaters that I would make are worsted. So I would have to do some, technically not even a lot of modifications. I would just have to do them in DK weight yarn. But I'm not likely to wear them to family events because my family isn't by nature that kind of a celebratory family.
Mm.
So it would be something I would just wear randomly if I'm out with friends and stuff. So it's not really my thing. But like, would any of the sweaters that I would actually wear to a family Christmas thing, would they also count? Louise said they would. Which guys means my wood woes, the second one, the dark boar
Ah,
color one.
okay.
It means my Nordic Nights sweater, like the fingering weight sweaters that I have.
Yeah.
Because those I would absolutely wear over to family dinner. Something like that. More like that. And then of
That
course I
seems
saw
entirely reasonable.
saw that mid mountain pullover by the Bluebird box.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go look at it?
Was that's the one that was in the Pattern Links channel this morning?
Yes,
Yesterday?
last night.
Recently? The most recent link in the Pattern channel. That sweater.
Yes, that one.
Yes.
I think I need to make. She's an Alberta designer. I think I need to make it.
Ooh.
Now again, won't do it in worsted, but I was looking at that stitches per inch.
Mm-hmm.
My gauge is tight enough. I could just do it on DK and it'd be fine.
Perfect. No math needed.
And I think I have enough yarn just chilling in stash. Cool. So I might have to make it, guys. I might have to make it.
Increase.
Ooh, milk. Have to drink my
Nikki
chocolate milk.
says, so if a whip counts, I'm going to try and finish my Weekender Light. Still tons of knitting, so I don't know if I'll finish, but I'll put that on my radar.
Good idea. Yeah, no. There's Well, I would love to say yes, I'm going to start a sweater in November, finish a sweater in November, start a sweater in December, and finish a sweater in December. Absolutely not. But I would like to put a whip into the contention because then I can make some serious progress and or potentially finish. Probably not finish, but if I can make some serious progress, I'll be happy because the Nordic Nights and the Woodwoes are fingering weight. But if I do the mid mountain, which would technically be a cast on, that's on DK. So I'd be working on like 5 millimeter needles roughly to get 18 stitches over 4 inches. I'd have to gauge swatch to be sure, but I think that's where I'm sitting. Do you remember on worsted weight to get 20 stitches over 4 inches, I have to use a 6 millimeter needle on average. Sometimes the yarn will change that up a little bit. So on average to get gauge on a worsted sweater, I'm on a 6. On average to get gauge in a DK weight sweater, I start at a 5 because I'm usually like 5.5, somewhere in there. Very rarely am I so stressed and so tight that I have to go up to a 6, or so chilled that I have to go down to like a 4.5. I don't think I've ever been chilled enough to go down to 4.5. I think the smallest I've ever been able to do DK on is a 5 at that sort of sweater weight gauge. If I want a tighter gauge, yes. Like I did the mid. Everybody poke Diana because I don't think she finished proofreading that cowl for me.
Nope, that was going to be another one of my sprints today.
Yep, cool. If you're waiting for the cowl pattern release, it's because Diana hasn't checked it to make sure I haven't forgotten a period somewhere.
I'll do that for the next whip sprint.
Okay. So the midwinter set, so like the midwinter mittens, the midwinter hat, and the midwinter cowl are done on a tighter gauge, so that there's less airflow. But I did that specifically because I wanted that for those things. A sweater gauge is different. I do. Erin put them on because of course I made them out of Erin yarns. Like the last time she was over, she put them on, and she loved the fact that the mittens were fitted. I'm like, yes. Yes, is it just me? And no, it's not just me. Other people out there like fitted mittens.
Nothing wrong with a fitted mitten.
It's just, it makes so much sense. If your DK weight mitten or your finger weight mitten is fitted, then they go into the worsted weight mitten for double layer mitten action. And it gets
Ah,
windy enough here that double layer
double
mitten
layer mitten
action.
action. See, and I was thinking like you get the like cheap little finger gloves
Why would you do
from
that?
like the dollar store or whatever and stick those inside the
Why
worsted
would you do that when you could have two
mitten.
layers of wool?
But yeah, why would you do that when you can have 2 layers of wool?
2 layers of wool. Even better than midwinter is scrappy. It's like, why, really, why wouldn't you do that? Because you can do that out of
Yeah,
leftover
I know. I'm
yarn.
like,
The
since
only,
uh,
the
since I
reason,
am now in
oh, I
possession
have
of
to,
some of these patterns, I'm like, some people might be getting these for Christmas.
not me, I designed them. I already have some, thank you. But yes, you do, because
I meant other people, the
that was my
non-knitters in my
payment.
life.
That was my payment to you for having you read those. I've got to remember to send the picture of us to Asa of mums because I don't have pictures of the worsted weight versions because those are my mom's Christmas gift. That's just how it works, okay, guys? I will post photos later.
That's fine.
I'll have to wait. Trust me, they work great, and you can put the DK weight ones underneath the worsted weight ones.
Nice.
They work awesome for scraps because I absolutely used acrylic scraps I had to make my mom's because I was like, "Can I do it out of scraps?" And mom's like, "Yeah, I don't care." I'm like, yes, I have so much scrap yarn,
Well, I've got all
so
these
much scrap
one-off
yarn.
gains of DK this
Is
year.
Oh, use the
So,
DK. Well, I have the. Do I still have them here? I've been distracted. I'm supposed to be spinning. I have it here.
so I'm
Oh
thinking
wait.
maybe a
Uh,
sibling and
uh.
partner get matching cowls or something this year.
Look. This is with the DK tweed. I know it's inside out. Just deal with it. This is the fingering weight one. No,
It's
DK weight
pretty.
tweed with the spike colorway and the
Okay,
if the
okay, on
apocalypse
break.
calls beat me.
On the break, we're gonna pick a couple of colors for some matching cowls or mittens or something. A matching set of something for
Yeah.
the for sibling and partner.
I know what my Christmas Day cast on for myself is going to be. Figure that out. It's going to be the amazing cowl.
Mm-hmm.
I
Highly
may have
endorse.
pulled the yarn for November out of my bag of tweed yarn for the year for the club collection this year. And I may have looked at December's and gone, ha, ha, there's one color. Now I need a contrast one.
There, I'm making a little white triceratops. That's
Okay,
so blown
what
out on
color
camera.
horns?
I'm sorry.
What color horns?
Still white. This
No,
one's gonna
horns
be
are going to
all
be a
white.
different color.
Well, too late. I've already made them.
The
I'm making a
horns
white
needed to be
Christmassy one.
like,
I'm making a Christmassy white one.
they needed to be green or red and green or red or sparkly. What's wrong with you? No, sparkle.
I don't have any of that. I have the colors that I have.
Black.
Also, I feel like it'd be weird if they were just like red, because then it's like, I've stabbed something. Grr.
Where does your brain go? It's tiny. It's not stabbing anything other than an ant. That's more of a squish than a stab, really.
I know.
I
I'm
sent
pretty
you a
sure they just
lot.
squeak.
They squeak. I sent you a lot of reels yesterday.
You did.
Mom
That
called.
was a lot of reels. So like
She's like, are you feeling
11:30
okay?
last night,
I'm
and I'm like,
like,
why do I have
I'm
like
so
16
bored.
reels in here?
Guys, I'm really bored. And Mom and Diana are getting the brunt of it. Excessive reel sending.
The ginger coffee sounded really good. Like it's
Doesn't it sound amazing?
Vietnamese coffee with ginger tea, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Like
like,
that
oh no,
sounds
that's
good.
totally a thing a Diana would make. I should absolutely send it to you.
Absolutely. So I'm probably gonna cheat and
Because
get some like ginger herbal tea bags.
you should do it with the real thing.
I'm sure it's much better with the real thing, but I don't need like three. I don't need to get a whole thing of ginger for like the 3 shreds of ginger that I'm actually gonna use, because I just don't use that much ginger.
Do you not freeze your ginger?
I mean, I guess I could freeze. I need to remember that freezers exist.
Just I freeze my ginger. It also makes it easier to thingy with the box thingy and the thingy and the making small shreds of.
Box
Box
grater?
shredder. That's it. That's the one. That thingy, that metal box thingy that makes the small thingies. That thingy. Um, lemons are easier to deal with when they're frozen. Ginger
Butter
freezes
if you need to
straight
grate
up.
it for pastry.
Makes it way better if you freeze it first. Like you can
Oh,
freeze a lot of
I
stuff.
need to I'm soliciting recipes. I'm making a roast chicken for dinner and I'm thinking a
Okay,
rice dish, like a rice side
sure.
dish.
Yeah. Do a tomato
Suggestions?
rice dish. Do a tomato
Tomato
rice
rice.
dish. Or
Tomato
mushroom
rice.
rice. Yeah, do tomato
Ooh.
rice.
We don't have
Tomato
mushrooms.
rice with a roasted. Okay, do tomato
We
rice.
used the mushrooms in the soup earlier this week.
Tomato rice with roasted chicken and some sort of veg. Like that sounds delightful.
Yeah, I was gonna do some steamed carrots with some kind of glaze.
No, yeah, that'll totally work.
Tomato
With
rice
tomato
sounds good.
rice?
Tomato
Yeah.
rice. Ooh, also saw some ghosts in white on Instagram. They had a pumpkin inside. Okay, that's cute. I do want to make some. I might make a little ghosty on one of these sprints just because I want to.
I love making little ghosties. They're so dang cute. You could make a couple of ghosties that are tree ornaments for me for my tree.
Oh, I could.
If you need a
B
reason
also
for the
wants.
ghosties.
B's invited us over for a Halloween party on Tuesday, and
Sure.
has requested a Halloween decoration.
Well, I mean, Halloween was in America traditionally an adult party, not a kid party, so this makes sense.
So I'm thinking some ghosties or something.
Ghosties would be cute. There's little
Cute little
black cat
ghosties.
cat thingies that would be easy to work up. Pumpkins also super easy and in season for that stuff. Lots of things.
Single crochet one. Oh, bobble. That's what that is. I'm like, what is this word? It's bobble.
So my other thought is I am not enjoying my niece's blanket that I want to make for her graduation.
Mm-hmm.
Again, out of scraps. Pitch what I've done, which didn't really take me that long, and instead hold the worsted acrylic double. I got a lot of scrap acrylic, guys, and make sampler squares out of some of the crochet blankets because he
Ooh,
makes some
okay.
beautiful square blanket. Like do one full repeat out to like whatever set size it's going to be, and then sew those together for a sampler blanket. Because I don't necessarily want to do the technique for the entirety of every crochet throw that man makes. I love them, but I don't necessarily need that many crochet throws in my life.
It's probably for that blanket that I want to put on my bingo card next year. It's probably going to be one of those.
He makes
It's either going
some
to be like that or a jelly roll
stinking,
because I still really want to make a jelly roll from like 3 years ago.
stinking gorgeous crochet throws. I have a jelly roll on the go, and I'm not giving it up. I like that pattern a lot.
Bobble single crochet 13. Okay, I can
So
single crochet 13. He's getting little toes.
I'm thinking about doing that. I was thinking. What's that thing that companies do when they do like a yearly
I've
general
100% skipped
thingy?
around. Never mind, I have to undo his little toes. I missed around entirely.
You
That's
missed
not gonna
around
work.
entirely?
I
That's
missed
not gonna
around
work.
completely.
That's not gonna work at all.
It's a shame I made the toes so cute, too. 3,
Anyway,
4.
we're getting ready to do me, Diana, and the marvelous moderator, and
Beep
our
beep.
Google Fu master herself are getting ready to do our year and what did we like about stuff we were doing? What is the stuff that we don't like doing? So now would be the time to ask you guys if you had any thoughts and ideas on things you'd like to see us try to do on the podcast, or for
Oh,
like Patreon members, or for like I don't know, YouTube memberships if we ever figure out what that is. Like,
2,
there's plenty of things we could be doing if we knew how.
4. Hang on, I'm counting. 5,
But I was like, you
Six,
know what? We could just ask everybody who's here today if they had any thoughts or things they thought might be fun or
seven,
they would like to see us do.
8, 9. Almost done. 10,
Notice how kind I'm
11.
being by not
I
counting?
know, 11 and 12.
Well, that's not too bad for less, a little under 25 minutes. Oops, hold my hand up.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad at all.
It's pretty good for some spinning. And yes, I'm still getting more consistent with this, but the stop start slow go is definitely letting me keep to the art yarn consistency. So I'm starting this. I'm getting really excited with the level of art yarn I'm making at this point, which is good because this is my third attempt. So I am excited to have progress. But I want to
There we go. Okay.
talk about
Fixed
several
it.
things tomorrow. So,
Fixed it. I've done it right now. Now I'm on the round where I work on his little toes.
okay. And we're doing a break thingy.
We're doing a break, yes.
Were we going to
Um,
vote for colors for you and things? Oh, yes, for the
yes,
midwinter collection.
I'm
You're going to make
gonna
some.
set a physical timer here in
Sure.
because it's easier than resetting the timer that's there.
I love all of you. I'm going to go get my dates. I'll be right back. Okay.
All
I need a
right.
date. I need a snacky snack. Nom nom. I need a
I'm gonna
nom
start
nom.
this 5 minutes. Get a
I'll be
nom
back.
nom.
Pull some. I'm going to get a nom nom. Pull
All
some
right.
colors.
Pull some colors. Okay, first of all, how many colors? Is this going to be like a 2 color or like a 3 color? Because it has to be for 2 people, so I need at least 2 colors. Was this like a 2 color deal, a 3 color deal? 3 colors? Sorry, let me catch up on chat as well. I'm ticked with the people I work with. I've spent so much time correcting mistakes and should have been corrected before it gets to me. I'm sick and tired of this crap. People are the worst, Susanna. I'm sorry you have to deal with their crap. No wonder I have so many whips that are years old. Doing bank reconciliations, that sucks. But hey, if WIP Sprints help get them done. It's cold enough to need double mittens. I'm sitting next to the fire crocheting a blanket. Nice. You can buy minced ginger and garlic in little jars and store it in your fridge. So we do have that, but the problem with that is that it's stored in oil. So it's not so good for making tea. It's perfectly fine for cooking, but it's not so good for making tea because of the oil. And I mean, I guess I could wash the oil off, but I also that oil is probably infused with lots of flavor. So I don't know. Pattern link on Discord. Yes, there was a pattern link for a little ghosty pumpkin thing that I will look at after we choose colors. Because it's time to choose colors. Okay, we got those. For you, yes. Do that. Your bad romance.
Hi. Are you in the window? Are you having fun?
I'm throwing things.
Oh,
Don't mind me.
why?
Where did you come
Some
from?
serious woes. Do you want me to shut the window? Or do you want the fresh air? You don't know what you want. Okay, cool. I'll shut the window for you if you would like. Oh, angry creature of tininess.
Angry creature of tininess. Okay, we have many colors.
Headphones.
I need to sort these roughly into darks and lights. I don't have
Okay.
space for this.
That's fair. I don't have space for anything. Phaedra, do you want me to shut the window? Or do you want me to leave it open?
Whoops. Okay, hang on. These are getting sorted very
Did you guys
roughly
hear
into
her?
like.
He absolutely
No.
yelled at me.
Oh no, you're being yelled at.
Well, I stuck my head behind my TV monitor, which is my computer monitor, and asked her if she wanted the window closed. I got yelled at, so I'm assuming no. But then she
Oh.
left, so I don't know. Look, there's a tail down there.
Okay. So,
Ooh,
I've got colored for DK color sets.
Mm-hmm.
These are
Pardon
all
the
different
plastic
colors.
ripping sounds.
I promise these are all different colors.
Ow! I'm with you.
So for darks, we've got Bad Romance, We've got
Okay.
Scary Veiny Willow, which was
Okay.
the newest color,
Yeah.
and Big Bad's
October's.
back.
That's Spike.
Yeah. So these are all purpley colors, dark purpley colors.
Hmm.
We've got Emotional Maturity of a Blueberry Scone, and
Is that August?
yes,
I've been paying way too much attention this year.
what is it? One Moment of True Happiness for blues. Not quite the
That's
same
Angel.
tone, but yeah. So we've got some blues.
Okay. These dates aren't bad. They're not as good as the organic
Ooh.
dates.
Also suggesting for midwinter collection do white and two different blues for a winter fade. I don't have a white DK though.
But you could do Spike with the emotional maturity of a blueberry scone
I could.
and then put the other light blue on the other side of Spike. One moment of one true happiness. How does that look?
Hang on, we haven't gone through all the colors yet. Sorry, I'm catching up on chat. We're doing okay. So 3 colors, says chat,
Mm-hmm.
and then you could do 1 and 2 for one, and 2 and 3 for the other one. It's true. Or I can
Mm-hmm.
just stripe the. I could have like 1 and 2 be stripes and 3 be the like cuffs or something. Anyway,
Color
combinations.
one, I had 20 grams left of color one using Erin's
Woo!
Buttercup DK, and it'll be similar to the Tweed DK. It's not exactly the same, but similar yardage. And I was able to do the large mittens, large hat, and large cowl in
And
pattern
I'm
for full.
probably not
I
going to
mean, it
do
was
the whole
pretty,
set.
it wasn't super tight on yardage, but it was,
I'm thinking I'll just do. It'll either be they both get hats or cowls or mittens, and then
that makes
with
sense.
whatever is left over, do something for the cat.
Yeah, that worked. Do hats or mittens because two cowls would eat up everything.
Yeah, the cowls are
Yeah,
big.
the
Okay.
cowls are big. Even the
Okay.
small cowl is big.
All right, hats and mittens. I have green colors as well. That's fairly freaksome.
Yeah.
You're not special. You're extraordinary.
Yeah.
For greens. Oh, come on, focus.
I gotta make more plastic ripping sounds.
And then we're into the like peachy, orangey browns. Oh, don't be stuck to the Velcro. Do not be stuck to the Velcro. Stop being stuck to the Velcro.
Stick to the Velcro.
Do not stick to the Velcro. That's bad. We have Don't Speak Latin in front of the books.
That's gonna be a sweater for me.
It is.
It's gonna look so good on me.
Uh, we've got I'm Under Your Spell, which is sort of a lighter
That's another
brown.
good one. Uh-huh.
And what are you called? If the apocalypse comes, beat me, which is more of a pink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sticking
So,
with my put Spike between the two blues.
well, the color palette for the people that I'm knitting for, though, is more like 1970s Chesterfield.
Well, I didn't
So
say
I'm
I was
feeling.
gonna give you what you wanted. I said I was gonna give you the prettiest color combo. It's my pattern. Um, do the greens and oranges and browns on.
That's what I'm thinking. Much as I love the purples and blues, it's not for me.
For everybody who's wondering, I'm eating some Thompson raisins. They're seedless. They're from Great Value. I technically need the entire bag to make Christmas cake, so I shouldn't be eating any of them at all. But I wasn't able to find any orange peel, which really annoys me because I should have made it last month. But I need
Chat,
orange peel and something else. Which is why I have it written down.
Chat's also saying the blues and the purples. But like,
Well, it's because we like them. But if you're making it for
I
your
know, but
brother
it's not for
and his
me,
partner,
and they have different color palettes
mm-hmm,
than I do.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
No, no, do the greens and oranges and browns. That's more their palette. If we're making it for your
so I feel
brother,
like
your brother's cat
something in
and his partner.
here is the
It doesn't have to be a super strong contrast, however you do it up, but you just need to be able to see enough of a difference to tell when your stripes change, because that's where all the fun is for you
yeah. So I
while
think I
you're
can
making
drop
it.
the pink. We're not doing the pink.
No, the pink's too out.
So we've got the two, like, oranges with bits of pink. Orangey
Mhm.
browns with bits of pink.
You'd,
Pink
you'd
toned
want to
oranges.
you'd want to put a green in the middle.
I'm leaning towards, of these two greens, I'm leaning towards the lighter one because it's got bits of pink in it.
We'll stick the lighter one in between the two that you know for sure you want. See how it works. It'll tell you right away.
What do you think of that?
See that lighter one seems. Try the other one.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if I want to use both of these browns too. Like, I could just do a two color thing. Uh,
You can. I did the fingerless mitts as a two-color thing. It works fine.
oh, yeah, I think you're right, actually. I think the darker one's better.
Darker one's better. Either go with two of the three of those or those three. But if you're doing two of the three of those, it's the bottom two.
Orange and green, yes. Take out the pink. Yes. Do the brown. Okay, like that. Yes. Okay, Chad agrees with you.
The weird thing is, I see the colors better through the camera than I do in real life.
Yeah.
Probably
All
because the
right.
camera is enhancing everything that it's showing me, so I'm picking up more of it. I do the same thing like when I'm looking at colors if I don't have an Erin. Trust me, guys, I will wait till I have access to an Erin. She is the professional. And I can go, I want to make this, but I don't know what colors to use. And she just comes and putters around in here and goes, "You want these things?" And I go, "Yes, yes, I do. Thank you. I know I love everything in here. It's my stash. It got in here because I like it. So I'm not worried about how it goes together."
All right. So we'll put aside some Don't Speak
I
Latin in
just
front of the books, some I'm Under Your
wish
Spell, and That's Fairly Freaksome.
I just wish I could justify casting on my slutty pumpkin yarn for a Christmas thing. But I don't have a pattern for it yet. Like I don't I'd have to go on a mad deep Ravelry, like Alice in Wonderland whole dive, potentially with like
There.
homemade hot chocolate to
That's
sustain
why these
me
work. There's bits of
with
dark
some
green
fruit
in the brown.
tarts.
That's why they work.
Yes, with some fruit tarts to make it through to find a pattern that would work.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
All
And it
right.
would be a
Thank
cardigan
you.
pattern, and I don't have buttons. I need buttons. I need fancy buttons. Do you want to go on a fancy button hunt for me?
I don't know. I don't know if we have the same idea of fancy buttons.
Well, I'm thinking some sort of Halloween themed button to go with the slutty pumpkin yarn. So, like ghosts or little black cats or something.
Ah, okay.
I have faith in you to be able to pick very cute anime ghosties or cats or something. But the pictures will
Probably,
be
yeah.
so small I won't be able to pick out the details, right? Till I have the buttons in front of me and I can blow them up. It's not an antique button sort of situation. I can pick my own antique buttons, thank you. That's fine. It's the super cute to go with the slutty pumpkin, some sort of cardigan that buttons up, like librarian 1950s fitted idea with like kind of ghosties or cats or like little witch hat buttons or something. Like super retro vintage classic cardigan design in a deep 70s color range
Ah,
with
okay.
gaudy buttons. That's what I want.
Sorry, I need to look at the
With
link that
gaudy
Asa sent me.
buttons. I don't have time. I know I don't have time. I just want to cast on it. Want to cast it on. I also want to
Pumpkins
cast on
and
that sweater
ghosts. Yes,
quantity.
this is exactly the little kind of ghosty I was thinking of. Oh, the pumpkins are so sweet.
Her
Oh,
pitch went up. We have some winners.
we stacked tiny. There's pictures with the stacked tiny pumpkins on top of the little ghosty.
Yes.
He's so sweet. Oh, come
Yep,
on.
I have that pattern. I can't make it. It's too small.
That's really blown out. I apologize, but wait, if we do it like there we go.
Turn your brightness down too.
I guess I could do that, couldn't I? Anyway, yeah, little ghosties. That's happening because those are cute. But I gotta finish this Triceratops first. Where's that tab? I have too many tabs open. I have like the most domestic assortment of tabs open on my phone right now. It's like crochet patterns and cleaning schedules and cooking recipes.
You're 30. What do you want to say?
I suddenly became extremely domestic. Not quite sure when that happened.
My mom is currently reading several books on how to use baking soda for pretty much everything.
Baking soda is magical.
Baking soda is magical, and I look forward to
Yes, also
all
I will
the
also
things.
proofread. But I want to finish this Triceratops first.
Also, would like me to publish that pattern. But I definitely like having somebody who hasn't looked at the pattern look at the pattern. Does that make sense?
Okay, the plan
Is that
is I will
logical?
finish the Triceratops this sprint, and the next sprint is entirely dedicated to proofreading a pattern, which I'm sure is going to be thrilling for everybody to watch as I stare blankly at the screen, just kind of off over here.
Bumbling to yourself. Jocelyn, you forgot. Yeah, I do that.
It's
That's why I
grammar.
have
Blah blah
people
blah
look.
blah. Why? What does this
Yeah.
sentence even mean?
Oh no, also English is my stuff.
Don't know what that says. That you've picked
A native
non-native
Norwegian
English
speaker to do
speaker
my English for
to do
me?
your English.
It tells you the state of the English education I received in my home country, and the answer is not good.
I feel like my English is just fine. I can't do anything
I
else.
I didn't get English straight up as English. Remember my childhood was up north?
Oh, right.
My
Well, you had
English
other
was
languages
mashed
in there.
in. My English is mashed in with Inuktitut and French. My grammar is off the charts into left fields.
Fair enough.
Because
I'm going to restart this timer.
we didn't necessarily do everything we probably should have in school when I was in elementary school, which is fine.
Eh.
It just and the English we speak and the English we write and the English we use in like say academic papers are three freaking different types of English,
Oh, absolutely. Okay,
which
now I
doesn't
can
help me
bobble.
any. Doesn't help me any. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it this way. I'm supposed to be sewing. That's right, you heard me. Sewing.
Uh huh. You're supposed to be sewing,
Finally,
but
finally sewing pockets onto this cardigan.
sounds like there's a but though.
There's no but. I'm gonna do it. I've just realized that when I reknit the sleeve on this shapely boyfriend cardigan, one sleeve is slightly shorter than the other,
Oh no.
which will drive me nuts. So I'm gonna have to rip back the cuff, knit the length of the cuff, and then do the sweater because it's a cuff length. So it's enough that I notice. And yes, I have the yarn to
That's
do the.
annoying.
So I'm gonna have to fix that at some point. Is it gonna be like a fix right away? No, I tend to leave the sleeves on this pulled up to my elbows all the time. So it's like I should fix it at some point sort of thing.
Also, saying it totally makes sense. I've been through the pattern several times and get blind for errors. I'm multilingual,
Oh yeah.
and there's usually no buts on cardigans.
There's usually no butts on cardigans. Um
Usually.
no, it's definitely I like having that last check done by somebody who hasn't done any work on it or tested it or anything, because then I'm getting fresh eyeballs. Just reading it and saying, yes, in my brain, this makes sense. So I know the instructions are clear when you do them and or when you read them, which is important. Quick, which way is out? Which way is up? How does one sew a pocket? Seems like a bad question for me to be asking at this point in the game, but here we are, and that's what I'm doing.
6, 7, 8.
Oh, did we start our next thing?
Oh, we did, yes.
Okay, good. I was like, I started working. I hope the timer's going. Because that's a real thing. And we're going to safety clippy stitch marker these two top corners. Because nothing says sketchy quite like clippy stitch markers.
You know what? I've still done this row wrong. That is an off
And
kilter. That is an off kilter Triceratops. Let's try that again.
off kilter triceratops.
He's very off kilter.
It
He's doing the cute head
sounds
tilt to
like
the
he's
side, but that's not very stable when your legs are only like half a centimeter long.
had one too many at the local pub. Flipper. Because when we flip off,
Three,
keep
four,
track of
5, 6, 7, 8,
what's going on
9,
here.
10, 11, 12.
Stitch
3, 4,
marker.
5, 6.
Stitch marker. This is not my only sweater that needs the pockets attached. It's just kind of embarrassing when the only things left are your pockets. It's like, cool. I did everything else that the sweater needs to have done, except sew the pockets off. Derp, derp. Sure. Works fine.
Okay. Now it seems like this is where the leg should go. Let's try it again. Once more with feeling.
Once more with feeling.
Jude has joined us in chat. Evening. Late to the party because I had to
Hello.
bribe the teen to take over and help me do something. He was in the middle of a gaming session, so I needed patience. Yep,
Yep.
I know that feeling. But also, I've
We all
been that person in the gaming session, so. Knitting Purple says, congrats on doing the impossible and getting a teen to help.
depends on the teen. Depends on the day. Depends on your use of language.
Oh, and Liz has joined us as well. Fell asleep and just woke up. We're glad you're
Naps are
here. I hope
good.
your nap was good.
Naps are your friend.
Naps are glorious.
All right, we have successfully pinned the two pockets on.
Good. Good first step.
Good first step. Now, to do the other not fun part of this whole process.
Oh, come on. Last bobble.
Last bottle. So I was watching an Instagram reel. Oh, come on, I brought my kid over, but I left my snips. Nope, I brought my snips. Um, and they were showing you different ways to make homemade oat milk.
Okay.
I need a large blender. I've seen so many recipes that make like drinks and mixes and other things. And again, I have to make all this stuff by hand, guys. Anyway, so what's the difference if I make it from home? Because I'd have to make it from home, period.
Mm-hmm.
But it involves like a cup of oats and like a date or two and some vanilla extract. One of the reasons I bought dates. And a blender and like 4 cups of water, six
Mm-hmm.
cups of water. And apparently you blend the ever living snot out of it and you get oat milk.
That sounds
And I
alright.
went, I would absolutely try that. Just need to get a blender. Now, I have a magic bullet with the small thingy so I can make individual smoothies and milkshakes, which is perfect 98% of the time. I have an immersion blender because I like making things like butternut squash soups, things
Mm-hmm.
that you want to blendy blendy.
Immersion blenders are great.
Loaded baked potato soup, also delicious when you do a little
Ooh.
blendy blendy.
I've never tried
Loaded baked
that.
potato soup. Oh, loaded baked potato soup.
Might
Oh,
have to
good.
try that.
Oh, good. But I don't have a big blender and I don't have a hand mixer. I feel like I need to fix those issues soon. And a food
There we go.
processor. I'm in my 40s. I don't even have fun extra kitchen stuff yet. But boy, do I have a lot of very fancy, expensive makeup to do one's face with. I have my priorities sorted out.
There we go.
That's
We
the
finally
important
got the little
part.
toes. I finally got his little toes right.
Did you? Good. What are you? Oh, that's what you want. Okay.
I gotta add eyes and horns. I
Um,
should add eyes first. Where are my
Wee!
eyes?
Jump into one of the
Eyeballs.
beds.
Eyeballs.
Not what I'm looking for. Wee!
I need eyeballs.
Also not what I'm looking for.
Eyeballs. Oops. Backs.
Eyeball. Oh my god, you'll never guess what I found the other day while I was cleaning. This is how bored I am.
Stitch markers?
Your knitting needle gauge, which I forgot to give back to you before you left.
Oh, well, if I can't find it one day, now I know where it is.
It's right by the front door, waiting to go out the door to you.
That's all right. It'll come back to me eventually.
Yes. Reason. Nope, that's outside sounds, not my cat. All right.
Okay,
I gotta pick up a box. It's gonna hurt my hand. Mother.
Well, don't hurt your hand.
Too
It's not a
late.
good thing to do.
Already
Don't do
done.
it.
Already done. Okay. What I did was I was like, hey, I'll just stack stuff on this sewing machine over here on the side, and I'll finish cleaning by Saturday, which I
Uh-huh.
said to myself on Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
So,
How's that
I
going
had a
for you?
half decent chance. I'm cleaning because I need to find the yarn to sew the pockets. And I've been cleaning everything recently, so this cleaning is just the adjunct of the other cleaning I've been doing all week. Adjacent cleaning, if you will.
There we go. That's the bit that I want to pull through here. Must
That
attach
makes no
nose.
sense.
And by nose, I mean horn. Nose horn.
Hey, I found
Oh
a pair
no!
of knitting needles that aren't attached to anything.
That's exciting. I've lost
Very
an eyeball.
exciting. Don't lose an eyeball.
Nobody panic. I've
Everybody
lost.
panic!
I'm not. Nobody panic. Actually, I'll pick that up after I get the rest of this horn in. That's what I'll do.
Pick that up after I get the rest of this morning.
There's too many strings of the same color going on here.
Oh, your design work. So you can go with that pile of design work. So I know what you
can
are
go
and who
right
you are.
here. Other string.
Oh, this is a thing I could do on one of our sprints. Tuck that at my feet.
Take the other eyeball out.
You can go to this giant pile of I'm not sure what to do with you yet. Because I'm not sure what to do with you yet. Makeup palette, anyone?
Why is that there?
Because makeup is everywhere in this apartment. This is one of my oldest foundation palettes.
Okay.
And I've been playing around with makeup looks, so before you turn yourself into a ghoul, you have to turn yourself into something undead. And I have the healthy pallor of the living. Step 1, remove healthy pallor of the living.
I see.
So I'm just practicing my stuff so my skill set doesn't get too rusty. Because I wouldn't want I spent money on my skill set. I don't want it to get rusty. You just make me sad. You make me sad. I don't even know what you are. Like, what are you? Oh, you're random cotton leftovers. That's cool. Scraps. Okay, good. Because what I needed to discover was more scrap yarn. Ah,
Always. Always need more scraps.
you would not
Crash bang.
always need more scraps. Hey, I found some lace weight yarn. Some hand spun. Is this what I'm looking for? No fleckies, so no. Ooh, the short
Right
knitting
about
needles
there.
in their baggies. Oh
That
yeah.
looks about right.
This stuff is like fake chenille. This is all I have left
Oh, that looks fuzzy.
for making mom snowmen one year. I can't part with it. It's just so fuzzy. Come on now, where's that yarn?
Oh, chat was asking if you'd found your needle gauge yet, since you found mine.
No. Why would I do that? That would be
He's got
logical,
eyes
people.
now.
Ooh, lovely.
He's cute.
They just look less creepy with eyeballs, really.
All right.
It's brown or black. I think it's
Let me
brown.
stick some backs on these eyes.
Maybe black? Where'd you go, cardigan? They put you down somewhere. Oh, I put you over here. So that I could do this. Well, technically you're a brown tweed. So you're not going to work. But you know what? Might sew it together with brown tweed anyway. That's an awesome advent. We're not showing that on screen.
There we go. Okay, the eyes are attached. And so is his nose. I just need to attach the
See?
other horns on his eyes. Or her eyes. I don't know.
The dates I purchased over by the Mousy Mouse, because I don't needs it right now. Mousy Mouse. What's in this box? Crafting supplies.
Oh, look up the Triceratops song by Rob Anderson?
An entirely empty shoebox for Christmas presents.
There's a Triceratops. Okay, I will look up the Triceratops song when we're done.
Over there, maybe? Watch, I spent a 25-minute sprint just trying to figure out where stuff is.
I mean, as long as you're focused on a task, you're doing it right.
It is a task. Do I get
You're
a cookie?
focused on a task. Sure. Do you have a cookie?
No, I'd have to make them.
Oh, well, then maybe you can have a cookie.
Okay. I'm gonna drink some of my chocolate milk. I'm almost out.
You can have a cookie if you make the cookie.
You know, true story. I could have a cookie if I made a cookie. I even brought skirts so I could start sewing side seams if I had this urge to start hand sewing while we were doing this. And I might. You know? Here's the waffle pockets for the waffle, the foam haar cardigan. I even pulled a gray yarn that'll do fine for sewing those on, so I could be pinning those in place. Not that I'm doing that either. Stacks and stacks and stacks of things.
Sure, that'll work.
Where in the world would this project have gone? Maybe behind the sewing machine?
Always possible.
Always possible with me. My ability to lose stuff should never be underestimated. Oh yes, this is December's yarn. Right.
I'm very excited to open November's yarn. But I gotta wait a couple more days. There we go. Alright,
here's
he's
a
got
serious
horns now.
question.
Yeah.
Here's a serious question. The poof no poof cardigan.
Okay.
How do I justify that as a Christmas sweater? Here's the reason.
I don't know.
I have the second skate of tweed in November's tweed color, and I have all the gray yarn already set aside to make the cardigan. I just need to buy the cardigan pattern. But I can't show off November's yarn until the end of November anyway.
Oh, Ashton has joined us in chat. Hey everybody, working on a Nightmare Before Christmas tree skirt. That sounds amazing.
Do you have the official Nightmare Before Christmas crafting book? I want it so bad.
With all of its tiny print.
That's why I don't have it, because it's nothing but tiny print, which you can't use. So it would be dumb for me to have it, but that doesn't mean I don't want it. You know? You know. No, what? You do really
Okay.
good.
6.5 minutes left of sprint, and I still have a number of rounds left because doing the faces on these guys are fiddly. But they're so
I'm
freaking
curly
cute.
granny squares.
And now I just need to do a single crochet for 3 rounds.
There's a lot of granny squares free floating in here. Whew, that's dangerous. Ouch! Whacked the table.
Don't do that.
Idea. Don't do it. Come here. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. You can hold all of this stuff. Okay. What are you? Oh, you can also go live in here. It's not what I'm looking for
Liz
either.
says it's hard to knit when the cat demands to be petted.
Don't I
They're so,
know it?
they're so cute when they do that, though. Husbands do that too sometimes. I'll be sitting on the
No.
couch, and he'll just like
Yours
get right in
does,
there like a
because
cat.
he's a cat.
I know, and he gets so upset when I compare him to a cat. It's very
No, no,
cute.
he's a cat.
I know.
He's a cat. So is his
Uh,
brother.
he he
Which
likes
I
pets
point out
behind
when
the
he's having a
ear.
stare off with my cat. I go, are the two of you done? I have two pets in this house right now.
They demand to be fed, and
Uh-huh. Want attention on their schedule.
mm-hmm.
Boys are cats.
I might also be a cat, so can't be too hard on them. Naps and
Ah,
sunbeams. I also enjoy having my head patted. And I do
we're like
enjoy
a
playing with string. I'm just a little more productive with it.
talking with my mom the other day, and Phaedra was chewing on yarn, and I was sorting and organizing. Stop eating that, dumb cat. I'm sorting and organizing it. It's not for you to chew on.
Something
Guys,
tapping.
I keep finding granny squares.
What's tapping?
Am I gonna like run out of finding granny squares, or is just this never-ending granny square happening over me? Ooh, Holst yarn. That belongs somewhere. That isn't here.
Tapping his neighbor's doing something. We occasionally have a very determined woodpecker that likes to inspect the house for us. And I just wanted to
Oh
make
yeah,
sure it wasn't that. But no, it's a neighbor down the street.
that's fair. Like aggressively checking things out for you.
Oh yes, they're quite aggressive.
Let me just confirm your walls are solid. Ah!
By their level of aggression when they inspect the house, I suspect that tells me things I don't want to know about the house.
Probably.
But it's a rental, so I don't have to care.
Nope, just report it to the landlord.
We have.
Then your job is done.
They want their house back next year, so we really have to buy a house.
Yep.
Or find somewhere else.
Yep. You knew this was coming.
Yeah, I know. I'm starting to get annoyed enough with the lack of ability to put ourselves into this place. Because this house has opinions about decor.
Yes, it does. Yes, it
And I
does.
can't change any of them.
Nope.
So
It's not your house.
woodpeckers are the metalheads of the bird world. They do a lot of head banging. I mean, yeah.
I like it because it's true. I like it because it's true.
Okay, I think that's the correct number of rows.
Guys, I'm running out of countertops to clean.
Well, then
Great
you can clean
headphones.
underneath them.
Well, when I'm at countertops, that's it. I'll have cleaned everything. Because I started below and I went to the cube. What is it?
I've forgotten already. What was it you were looking for?
Black tweed yarn.
Oh.
I've not forgotten what I'm looking for.
Well, you have a minute and 10 seconds left to find it.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh, the poor dead cactus. I should deal with that.
You have a dead cactus?
My sister's
Oh, that
dog
thing.
chewed my cactus thingy.
Oh,
It's supposed to hold pins.
right. That cactus.
Husky
I have one of
husky
those.
puppy found it.
Oh. I'm surprised it's still alive at all.
I caught her pretty quick and yelled at her really hardcore. I'm not a human that tolerates dogs going through my stuff and pulling things out. Like if it's out in the open, that's not the dog's fault, but that was not out in the open.
Mm-hmm.
So I was unhappy. I was unhappy. Okay, I'm gonna switch the headphone orientation back around. Yes, new wireless headphones and a USB hub are on my list of things.
Whoop, beep, beep. WIP Sprint
Things
2
that
is
I
done.
need.
I'm gonna pause for a snack on this break.
Anybody seen my lip gloss?
No.
That's fair.
Sorry, can't help you. It's on your left. About 9 o'clock. On that other table, next to the thing.
Where it should be is on my. Ooh! Technically, yes. On the left.
Oh, wait, was I. Did I get it? Did I find it?
Well, it normally lives right below the computer monitor on the left hand side. Because I use my mouse with my right hand.
Pardon me
No
while I
idea why, I
open a
just do.
crinkly wrapper.
But I absolutely have the keyboard flipped up facing the screen and then a box and then my microphone situated on top because while I have the new computer desk that I can attach the microphone stand to, I need to have good enough hand to rearrange the living room furniture to have enough space for a kitchen table to then assemble my computer table. So my computer table currently exists as legs and a top with screws in it ready to be assembled, wedged in the corner of my entryway. A lot of things got held up when I injured my hand. A lot of things got held up.
Well, don't injure yourself.
Moral of the story, things I wish I could avoid doing. Injuring myself is on the list.
How are everybody's WIP sprints going? We've been on for like an hour and a half, and I think we managed 2 of them.
Well, you could have done a whip sprint while I was doing groceries. I told you just go ahead and keep doing things. Just hold down the fort.
We were having a chat about taxes.
I'd
Very
be
important.
back.
I was learning about international tax things.
Oh, shoulders. It's important because if you're paid by an American company as a Canadian citizen, it can mess with things if you're a freelance. How do I know? Because a lot of the people I work for are American, so there's different taxes for that.
Yeah, I was looking at it, and like,
Patreon is American. There's different tax systems that I have to be aware of for that.
if you're an American citizen or you work for an American company, you have to pay American taxes. And then in Canada, you have to file extra paperwork to be like, no, man, I already paid these taxes. Please don't take them again.
Yep. So long as you file it,
Otherwise,
you're
Canada
fine.
will tax you too.
Yes. I file all my paperwork. It's not actually that complicated. It's just step 1 through step 456 because it's governmental paperwork. So, like, everything's in triplicate, and they want to ask you twice if you're sure that, your middle left toe is 3/4 of an inch shorter than your big toe. Like,
Mm-hmm.
It's just government paperwork. When you take it slow and you go through it, it's fine. Most of my life is government paperwork because it's not really the end of the world for me. I'm used to it. Used to it.
Susanna says, "Do you want an essay on the taxes?" No.
No,
No.
I
It will be long.
appreciate
Nope, no,
I,
I'm good.
I
We're good.
appreciate your knowledge, and I love that there are people out there that can do that stuff. I don't suffer from insomnia. I'm good, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I promised you a proofread, so I guess I should do that.
It's true, you did.
I did. Is
You
that... Nope, that's going to open on the
did.
wrong page. Come here.
I'm
Sorry
gonna
about
shut
that.
the window. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut a window.
I just need to open my Google documents.
Ooh, I'm gonna
I
punch
need to open
mic.
the ones that you've shared with me. Or is it
Why
just
did
a
it disappear off
drive?
screen?
Here we go. Come here. Open the thing.
Open the screen.
I was very confused. It's a picture of me. What am I doing in your document? Oh yeah, I agreed to model your stuff for you.
I've seen how you take pictures, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
We need to work on that.
I take great pictures. What are you talking about? But it's
I'm going
really
to
hard to take
encourage
pictures
you.
of mittens while your own hands are in the mittens. So
Oh, it's impossible. So like, there's no way I could have done that. I'm going to encourage you to take some Skillshare courses on photography.
that's what I have a friend that's into photography for.
You should also
I've
learn the
actually we
skill.
did the photo shoot. I learned so much during that photo shoot. I learned about triangles and
Uh
posing,
huh.
and I learned about a whole bunch of things that I do that I should not do. So I've
Yes.
actually learned a ton
Oh, good.
since we did our photo shoot. Can I just show you the picture that I managed to take of myself the other day?
Sure.
No, that's the wrong thing. That's the
You gonna up
wrong.
your selfie game?
I was taking a go live picture for Twitch yesterday. Like,
Yeah.
come on. Hang on, that screen is too bright. 1 second. 1 second. Let's try that.
Oh, that's got way less glare.
Now we've got reflections, but like, look at that. Look at that selfie.
You're getting better.
I improved. I learned about triangles and stuff.
It's
Vague things
important.
about composition.
Also important.
I learned things. Alright, I've had my snack. I'm gonna put aside my little Triceratops. I could put aside those, and I'm gonna put aside these because I need the mouse now. And I don't want to knock my safety eyes into my desktop computer tower.
No, don't do
Because
that.
it's on. I don't think they'd fit, but the small ones might fit.
Don't do it.
And that would just be sad on many
Don't do
levels.
it. Don't do it. I'm
It would end
going
the
to
stream right quick.
continue. I'm gonna continue ripping my mom's crocheted granny square pullover because she would like it to be remade into a cardigan because she gets a bit warm in the pullover version. So I'm going to continue that process
This
because
is
I
where
can't
our
remake it till I've ripped it.
this is where our little oh, he's so blown out. I'm sorry. This is
So
where our little
white.
Triceratops is.
He's got a head and some
Yeah, he's
eyeballs
got a
because I see
head.
black.
And he's got some little feet. Oh, come on, focus, man. There we go. It's absolutely struggling. Okay, the white really doesn't work on camera, but he's got He's got 4 little feet now. He just needs a bum and a tail.
Okay.
And some stuffing.
That's some
But
stuff.
I'm gonna do your cowl. This is me starting the timer and then working on proofreading your cowl.
Well, you wouldn't have to today if you did it 2 days
I
ago when you
know,
said you
I know,
would.
I know. I am bad friend. Okay, close that.
I'm gonna remind you of this when you want me to proofread something and I do it right away.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's all
I've
right.
been doing that a
Nobody's gonna
lot
die.
lately. I'm like, I will totally do the thing, and I mean it when I say it, but half an hour later, it's very not true.
That's fair.
It's a thing I need to work on that I've realized I'm
I
doing that I
feel
need
like
to
I
work
should
on.
stretch. There you go. We have a sleeve. Excellent. Separated from the body. I think I did this on the round. Oh no, I have to find a woman and end. Balonies. Balonies, I tell you.
What's the button on here for making suggestions?
I honestly
Suggesting.
don't
There we
know
go.
because I'm the editor, so I don't have that button. I see them when suggestions are made. It takes me right to it and it lets me correct issues if I agree with the suggestion right away. So it's an excellent document source, but I
There we
don't
go.
know.
Okay, this is so much easier to do on a desktop.
Yeah, that's kind of how it's done. What I want to and what I should do next year is go into all of the patterns and return the font to the size I need, fix the spacing, and for any of the ones that I have charts, pull out the charts that I used when I made it so that they're larger, easier format fonts to read and stuff to try to make it a bit more accessible and easier to read.
Hmm.
It's so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why end? Why must you be this way? Sure, I'll pull it apart. No problem. Easy to do. Grumble pants. Grumble pants. Guys, I think I'm just gonna have to cut it and hope for the best.
Cut it and hope for the best.
I think I
Oh,
found the
tangled.
chain. I think I found the chain, but I can't find the end. It's been moving toward enough that I'm not finding it. So here's hoping I'm at the end. We've committed. What's everybody else working on? I can't see what they're doing.
There's everybody's working on stuff, so chat is quiet.
Ha ha ha! Yeesh.
There we go. There we go.
Ugh.
I'm adding a the.
Go for it. Said I've
Or I'm
read through it.
suggesting a the is what I'm doing.
I've gone through it so many times There's no way I'm not auto putting in things that aren't actually there.
Question. You're
Answer?
using grams, but
Yes.
also inches.
Yes.
And that's just how it is. You're not gonna no, you're not gonna use consistently metric or imperial.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Absolutely not. And if anybody wants to know why, it's because I'm Canadian. Because I think in both grams and inches. But I have to stop and think really hard if I want to think in centimeters. No rhyme or reason for it. I, like the rest of my country, is a delightful mashup and hot garbage mess of both imperial and metric. That's just how it is. Like I read those patterns where it's like, in for finished chest measurements, as it gives it to you in centimeters, and my brain goes, oh no. What's my chest measurement in centimeters? I don't even know how tall I am in metric. I only know how tall I am in imperial. And I don't even. I think my weight's in metric, or is my weight in imperial? It's pounds. That's imperial, right?
Yes.
But snow measurements in metric.
Yeah, we get snow in centimeters.
I'm aware it makes no sense. I'm just not going to argue with who and what I am and where I live. I am Canadian. Therefore, I use a mashup of both. If it causes confusion, do the same thing I have to do. Google. Trust me, you're not the only one. Okay. Yeska. The thing where you rip apart a project and you haven't seen the project for years. You don't remember how it is you ended up getting it to go together properly, and now you're left with whatever ingenious, easy solution you thought you came up with when you first did it. Now you're like, no, no, it wasn't. You were, in fact, incorrect. That is the battle I currently am facing.
Ooh, Susanna's got Coco Brooks spinach grande pizza.
Oh, that sounds
Oh,
tasty.
I want pizza. Maybe I'll suggest some pizza. Oh no, wait, I'm making chicken tonight. Never mind.
Easily distracted.
Well, I started thinking about food, and I'm like,
I want Fergie's fish and chips. Or poutine. I shouldn't have poutine because it's too much cheese. Too much cheese. That's some classic English style beer battered fish and chips. By tasty.
mm-hmm.
I think it's because I was at the Forks the other week, and that's where Fergie's fish and chips is. That's why I'm thinking fish and chips.
Fish and chips is glorious. I had the most excellent fish and chips at a restaurant in Gimli on my last visit because they're right on the lake, so the pickerel was like probably alive that morning.
Yeah, it'd be super
It was
fresh. Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. Is that the fish you were finishing at dinner?
Yes, it was really good.
The dismantling of this sleeve is just not going well. Maybe I'll be lucky now. Oh, did I finally find the thread I needed to find? Oh, yay!
Jude says miles and yards for driving, metric for all other measurements. even for height more now, but imperial for that too. But UK imperial is not the same as US imperial,
Nope. Different.
just for extra fun.
Just for extra fun. Ow. Ugh, there's something incredibly cathartic about ripping apart a project. Can't do it with all my cavalier strength because I gotta be careful with my one hand, but this is just darn right pleasant. There we go. I think I'm gonna make this as a hexagon cardigan, like that whole you make the cardigan and magically fold it in half, and then there's your sleeves and your back and stuff. Is that a hexagon?
Uh, Probably. Sorry, I'm trying to read language, process auditory language at the same time. I can only do one set of language at a time.
So you know when you're Twitch streaming and I tell you I'm doing something else, my screen reader is on. I am receiving two entirely different sets of auditory information on top of your
Yeah, I
husband's
super
music.
can't do that. I super cannot do that.
Superpower.
All right.
I have to. My world is very quickly becoming entirely auditory, and people are really bad at not talking over themselves.
Well, yeah, because I was brought up that it's rude to talk over anything else. Like, if something's happening, then, like, pay attention to the other something. So trying to break that is hard. And, like, growing up, even if the
Woo!
TV
Hold
was
on.
on, we were watching the TV. It wasn't just on for background noise. If you weren't watching the TV turns off. So
No,
I go to other people's houses and they just have the TV on in the background, and I find it so hard to ignore the TV and pay attention to the people because growing up, if the TV's on, you're watching the TV. If you're not watching the TV's off.
I would rather the TV be off. Not because I grew up where if the TV was on, you watched it. I grew up in a family, if you were not the loudest, you didn't get heard. So volume and enunciating is not a problem for me.
Yeah,
Making sure
whereas
my
I
opinions were
was
heard,
raised
not a
like
problem for me.
if somebody else is talking, you shut up and listen. So
That
like talking over
depends.
people was like unforgivably rude in my
It
upbringing.
depends. If you were like if you're receiving instructions or having a conversation, yes. If you're having a very spirited debate, not so much in my family. More hand waving and arm gestures included if you're drinking beer while having a very spirited debate. Things can get quite lively. Um, but I have found in the intervening years that as my ears get more sensitive to sounds, I am annoyed when the TV is on because everybody then talks louder. So all that gives me is a headache
Mm.
because the TV keeps getting turned up because people can't hear the TV and then they talk louder to be heard over the TV. And I'm like, okay, now you're just giving me a headache and you're still not watching the program. So why?
Yeah. I Jude says yes, hexagon, and yes to several levels of auditory input at once. Drives others. Made TV, TV, YouTube, and radio funsies. Okay, I think I'm just about finished.
Cool.
Doing a second read through of your pattern here.
Okay. I don't mind if it's something that you can handle so long as you keep the volume low. That's fine. But like if I have my headphones on and I'm very clearly doing something tech orientated, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. I'm not looking at the screen. I know I'm looking at this. I'm not seeing anything. I'm
Don't
not
talk to me
seeing
when I'm
anything.
counting.
Don't it's like just don't. Like I'm busy. I was always my biggest worry about having to go and like work in an office and be visually impaired. It's because that is one of the number one complaints that the visually impaired or blind community have about sighted people in the office. It's like, are you kidding me? If the headphones are on and we're looking at the computer screen, do not assume we can hear you. We're listening to our screen
I
reader.
appreciate that anyway as a perfectly well sighted person. If my headphones are on, Slack me first, DM me first. My
Something.
headphones are on, I'm trying to focus.
No. It's like, really? Really? You start talking, I'm not going to hear you. My headphones are in. That's the point of the headphones, people. Or I'll get people who start talking to me on the side of the street while walking around doing places, and they'll be like, "Oh, why do you have your headphone in?" Because I use maps to get around. And right now you're talking over the instructions I need to have, so I know when to turn.
Mm.
There is no thing as street corner signage for me. Stop talking at me. If you're my friend and you're leading me around and we're going places, I don't have a headphone in my ear because I'm not using my apps. I'm not using my um or cam my eye. I have a real life person helper. Always better than the tech helper. I just don't always have a real life person helper. Sometimes I just have the tech help. Though I do want to try that program that turns research papers into audiobooks. I suspect the AI will be atrocious for it, but I want to try it.
It's surprisingly good for some things and surprisingly hilariously bad at other things.
Have it pronounce Oss's name. Bring you delight every time. Every time.
Crafty Chemist says, we finished a sleeve, now onto the collar front bands. Excellent.
Whoa, beautiful.
And Lisa says, I highly recommend loop earplugs. You can hear with them, but it takes the shattering part of the sound out. Yes, agree. Love my loop earplugs.
I
I
want to
have a
get bone
pair
conducting.
somewhere.
Oh, I did. If other people wore headphones and watched TV, I wouldn't care. It's just stop putting excess noise in my environment. I already have enough to deal with as it is. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
And you
no,
going deaf
totally
and
get
being
that.
unwilling to go get your ears dealt with is not my problem. Why am I dealing with it? You make me sit in this dark cave space. Get a hearing aid. And no, I don't care what your age is. If you can't hear, go get a hearing aid. If you have hearing deficiencies, that's what they're for. But it's like I was trying to explain to another person the other day. They were just like, "Oh, so and so's got this, but they're so young. Isn't that an old person disease?" I'm like, "No, no. You need
No,
to
it's a,
divest yourself from that idea right there. Do you have a body? Correct. Are you human? Also correct. Guess what? This can happen at any time."
mm-hmm.
Oh, finally winding this sleeve back into a ball. Ripping projects takes a while. Don't ask me why that's what I hum. That is what I hum. Which is truly only weird when I'm scrubbing the toilet and that's what I'm humming. All the time. Seems like the wrong one. Make it a ball. This lived as a sweater long enough. I should turn these balls into hanks and I should wash them to remove the kinks from the yarn. Shouldn't I? Oh boy, oh,
Entirely
I
up to you. I
suspect.
have not done that.
That's probably the proper thing to do. I'm not sure if I'll actually do it.
Also says, most outside Scandi pronounce my name weirdly. Yes, well, that probably included us until we were. Thoroughly instructed in how to say it properly. It's not a common name outside of Scandinavian places, I would assume. And Jude says, I have hypersensitive hearing. Noise can drive me crazy and can't use earplugs. Hate cities, love the countryside as a result. Makes
Fair,
sense.
fair. I have to battle extreme issues with isolation, so living in the city helps remind me that even though while I spend great swaths of my life alone, and that's just what happens to you when you're disabled, I am not. There's life going on all around me. In the country, it's soul shattering to be stuck, and you know you're stuck. There is no way out, and you're isolated even more so. So it's just nothing but an absolute extreme downer.
Hmm.
Here we go. Next section.
House's name has weird letters, and she writes it in an old-fashioned way. Well, that's you're just making things more complicated using weird letters and writing it in an old-fashioned way. So I'm just doing a little bit of mental math here, trying to make sure numbers line up. I mean, it's been testnet, so the numbers should line up, right? I'm just
Yeah,
editing for grammar and formatting.
pretty much. It's just does that make like does anything in your brain go, Diff? What's going on here? Or huh?
Yeah, like I've added commas, periods, capitalized some stuff.
Things that I'm gonna mess between writing it out, checking it out, doing the math again, doing the individuals, doing the test nits, getting the photos, reading it again. At some point, I stop seeing them. just, I just stop. Just, just stop.
Dude says I should be a hermit, really. And also, I've been working on my O with a slash through it, the AE mashed together, and the A with like a little circle on top sounds this week. I don't know
Oh,
what the names of those letters are, I'm sorry.
we're working on this random series of things. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's better. My dad has started sending me cat reels on Instagram, which, fair. I am a proud cat mom. I do like the cat math one. If I can see the bottom of if my food bowl, if you can see the bottom of my food bowl, I have no food. Also, if you can see 1 micromiller of 1 quarter of one section of the tiny smallest part of the inside of the middle of the bowl, my food bowl is also empty. Like, that's
If
solid
it
cat
is
math.
theoretically possible to see the bottom of the food bowl, there is no food,
There's no
and we're
food.
gonna starve to death.
Yep. Okay. I'm like, nope, that's solid cat math right there. If I fit, I can sit. Also solid
Um,
cat math.
yeah.
Also
Also,
solid
if
cat math.
I fit ever even once in my life, I still fit. And
Yes.
why isn't this working? This is all your fault.
Yes. Listen, it was cute when I could carry her around in my chest when she was little. She just outgrew that. Hardcore outgrew that.
We have 1 minute
I
of
don't know
sprint
where she.
left.
I think she's sleeping on the couch. Given the time of day it is, we might be couch nap time. Well, I'm not going to finish ripping the sleeve, but I'm almost out of sleeve. Which is another section of the sweater done, which is good. Because again, I can't recrochet it into a cardigan until I fold it apart. That'll be our second, third. It'll be our third
Third.
whip
Yes,
sprint.
this is our third sprint. All right. I am reasonably confident that I've grammared and formatted. Actually, really just formatted.
Thank you.
I added a few words here and there just for clarity, but it says the same thing. I just added a couple of words.
That's fine.
Ooh, beep, beep, beep. All right. It's done. I did the thing. I'm sorry it took me like 3 extra days.
That's all right. I'm not gonna die.
I did the thing.
You might. No, you won't. It just leaves the body of the sweater, the front, the back. No.
Nice.
So I just have to pull apart the shoulder seams and the side seams, which were either crocheted or whip stitched, depending on what they are. And then I apparently did not tighten this bra strap enough this morning. And then I will be ready to. And well, I should wash it. I probably won't. I'll be ready to recast on Mom's cardigan for her. Oh my goodness! Is it break time?
It is break time. I'm attempting to read this message that, you know what? I'm not
Okay.
even going to try.
Okay.
Jude is practicing other languages, and I'm not going to try to say them.
I would fail at that. I would fail at that.
Ooh, Liz finished a hat. Excellent. Good job. I feel like hats are mittens for sibling and partner. Hats,
Mittens.
mittens. Mittens?
Mittens.
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 Okay.
Given what I
College
know of
boys.
the pianist fingers that your brother has, I
This is
suspect
true.
mittens are a pain in the butt for him to find. Whereas he probably finds hats easier to source.
Fair enough.
So mittens.
Also votes mittens. Okay. Is it just because you guys want to watch me struggle with mittens again?
No, because you're going to follow the instructions in the pattern.
Yes, I am. I've learned my lesson.
So long as you follow the instructions, you do fine with mittens. When you go off the rails, that's when things go sideways on us.
I
So,
know.
I have ABBA stuck in my head today.
All
Who
right, I need to
do I
stand up and
have to?
stretch. Stand and stretch.
Who do I have to sell my soul to get a chicken burger for dinner?
Uh, I don't know. Who's in charge of chicken burgers?
New Burger's in charge of chicken burgers.
Oh, well, maybe they want your soul.
Maybe. Should see if they're taking applications. Okay. I don't want to cook, guys, is what it is.
Mittens are a quick gift, or a quick knit. Uh, they're a quick knit if you don't think you know better than the pattern and try to do better. And yeah.
I wanna put away my groceries, like the cans and stuff. I wanna order dinner and I wanna make cake.
Ooh.
That's what I want to do tonight. I don't want to make dinner and dessert. I just want to make dessert and have dinner show up.
You don't. Yeah, I know Asa. I don't know better than the pattern.
Figure out how to make that out.
We finished our cake yesterday, and I'm sad about it.
Make
I
more
also don't
cake.
have a cake tin, so I can't bake cake. I can make cupcakes because I've got a muffin tin, but
I
I don't
just
have a cake tin.
buy some cake tins.
Because the number of times where I actually want to go to the trouble of making a cake versus something else is like zero, which is why I don't own a cake tin. I'll make
I
cookies
own
and muffins and whatever,
I
but
own two small square tins. One springform circular, which like never gets used for cake, but used for like everything else that you want to springform away. And two cake tins I think I've used once. But those two small square ones, because if you make brownies, why are you making a single batch of brownies? That's ridiculous. If you're making the cake, if you just make the cake batter and split it into the two smaller squares, A, it takes less time for the cake to cook, and B, Then you just level up the cake and stack them on top of each other, and you've got a square cake, which just looks cool.
Hmm.
Thinker. Also, the square tins are easier to clean and throw in the dishwasher. They take up less space. Like, there's a whole other thing, a host of reasons. And you can use those small square baking tins. I do it all the time for vegan cooking because I make vegan shepherd pie.
Hmm.
Which is like mushroom lentil meat layer
Oh, that'd
with
be good.
veggies and roasted potatoes on top. And then I stick them in that. And then I quarter them. And because they're the smaller ones, they quarter great. So they make
I could
making
go for like a
portions easy.
lentil mushroom shepherd's pie thing. That'd be
It's
good.
very good. It's very good, especially if you beef up the mushroom so that it's got like a lot of kick in the mushroom layer.
Nice.
Wow, it's one of my favorite go-to fall things to make, fall winter things to make, because it's very filling and stick to your ribs good.
Oh, Jude's off to go see a film. Our clocks go back tonight.
Ours will
It's
be
that time of
shortly.
year again.
Yep,
When's that day for us? Does it say
I
on the
don't know.
calendar? I'm gonna
I
find
don't
out
pay
because that's gonna
attention.
be relevant at some point. When
Doesn't do
do the
anything for
clocks
me.
go back? The 5th.
Okay.
So on the day of our live episode,
Uh-huh.
the time shifts.
Sure.
Beware.
Why?
Well, because sometimes it feels like the wrong time. I know you are absolutely unaffected by the time shift, but for the rest of us, it's like minor jet lag for a couple of days.
Y'all need to work on your sleeping habits.
It was just like the wrong. It feels weird. Like the day feels off because the light's wrong. You know?
No?
Well, given that other people agree with me, I assume. I don't know. Chat hasn't said anything, but given the volume of complaints I've heard from other people, I'm gonna say you're the weird one.
Cool. That's fine. The only thing that changes in here is my clock on my stove will be accurate for the next 6 months.
And then it'll cease being accurate again.
And it'll cease being accurate in the spring. No.
Also test knitted mittens in 24 hours.
Yes. I made, when I sit down to think about like the actual work time for the mittens, it's less than a week in the evenings only. So the mittens are a 2-3 day knit. They are a weekend knit. And done.
Well, people are getting mittens for Christmas.
They are absolutely achievable within a Saturday, Sunday weekend thing. A cowl, I would say, be like a 3-4 day project. So like
We'll do
two
mittens
weekends.
then.
But
Do
mittens or
mittens.
a hat, that's easily a weekend project. Easily.
Okay, other people agree with me. Time change is dumb.
See, whereas I don't know if is it dumb or is that it is so psyched up and everyone is so prepared to suffer
Well,
the time change
time
that
is
you've
already.
you've already decided that's how it works. So it's like those what it is when you do the double blind test so you don't get bias confirmation issues?
I think it's just called a double blind.
Psychosomatic responses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like you're getting honest results and stuff. Like, can you for sure? Like, I don't know if you can because everybody does the same thing for winter. Like, they're like, God, it's winter and it's the worst. And I'm like, okay, is it really the worst, or is it that
So
you
I'm reading a
spent
book
so
right now
long
called
deciding
the.
it's the worst?
I'm reading a book right now called The Expectation Effect,
Yeah.
and I've just started, but it's basically a book all about how things will turn out the way you expect them to. So if you're like, oh, the world sucks, then you're gonna see all the way the world sucks. But if you like start looking for all the like good things in the world, then suddenly there's a lot more good things in the world. Or like if you're thinking about buying a certain type of car, suddenly that type of car seems to be everywhere. Or you've learned a new word and suddenly you encounter it everywhere. Like
So fall we fall back, right?
yeah.
Does that mean
Now
we
my thing with
gain
the
an
time
hour?
thing,
Does it gain an hour?
yes.
So rather than going, ah, it ruins the day. Dude, the world just gave you permission to sleep in for an extra hour.
Yeah, no,
Sleeping
that's
in is
great.
fun.
It's my thing with the time is like time is already kind of a dumb construct. And then
Time
we
is a
have to go and
necessary
change
construct.
it. It's
Time
just
is a
the fact that it
necessary
changes it
construct.
all is like, who thought that was a good idea? Why? Why?
Why?
I don't know. I don't get it.
Time is a
Also
beyond
says,
necessary
I get
construct.
more affected the older I get. 20 years ago, I didn't think about it. Maybe I'm just crotchety and old then.
I just,
Melanie says, I went
sure.
into work expecting it to be crazy busy today. It wasn't, therefore pleasantly surprised. There, see? Expectation effects.
Just, is it? Or is it that you've decided that's how it's going to be and it colors everything for you?
But the time change, like, I legitimately will be at some point in the afternoon thinking, oh, it's about time for dinner, and then it's not because everything's shifted by an hour. And I just do that for a couple of days, and it's just like a little bit annoying. Like, it's not like, but it's like, it's just like a little bit annoying.
Why not just have dinner early?
Because meal times are a social construct.
You decide what social constructs fit into the tradition of your universe. If I want supper at 5, I have supper at 5. If I don't want supper till 7, I don't have supper till 7.
Makes
The
sense.
only person that cares that dinner happens at 6 is the cat, and quite frankly, she can eat independent of me. It's not going to kill her. She would confirm that she's perfectly content having her salmon pate dinner. I don't need to eat my dinner till I want my dinner. Same with breakfast, same with lunch. I eat lunch when I'm hungry. Sometimes I'm on the phone with my mom and she's like, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What do you mean you haven't had lunch? I'm like, well, I wasn't hungry until now. So guess what? I'm going to make lunch while we talk. Because now I want a potato, okay? Stop judging me.
It's potato o'clock.
It's potato o'clock. It's sort of like that. It's like, oh, well, you shouldn't do this. I'm like, no, seriously, sometimes I get up at 3 in the morning and make bannock and jam compote. Because what I want is fresh bannock with margarine and jam on it. And I don't have jam, I make jam. So I get up and I start bannock and I make jam. And by the time the bannock's done, the jam is done, and I have fresh, warm berry compote on fresh
I
bannock
think I
at
need to
3 in
ditch
the
a lot of
morning.
these social constructs, especially now that I'm working from home all the time. I can like ditch a lot of these things. Like, no, 3 a.m. is not the time for making bannock. Like, why
Of course it
not?
is. Of course it is. It doesn't.
As long as you're
What
not disturbing
matters?
everybody else you live with.
You're not being obnoxious about it. Nobody's supposed. Quite frankly, if you're not being obnoxious about it and somebody cares, they're being the obnoxious one. But so long as you're hitting markers for your success, so you are getting
I'm gonna start the
the eight
timer for the next
hours.
sprint, by the way.
Yeah, go for it. You're getting the 6 to 8 hours that is recommended for the human body. Some people need more, but the number of people who need more hours than that are incredibly small. Read the studies. You know, so long as you're not like taking your knitting to bed while your husband's trying to sleep beside you. That's obnoxious. Take that to the couch. Take that to the couch. He has the right to
Tell
sleep during his
him to
sleeping
take
time.
his glowy brick phone and YouTube videos to the couch.
Couch. Yeah, no, he those like setting up spaces and zones and stuff. Like my parents, one my mom is a night person. She does best if she gets up, and she's retired, so she can do this. She gets up 9, 10 a.m. My dad is a morning person. He's like me. He gets up at 6 a.m. They don't struggle to figure out how to get the sleep cycles to work and how to fit their schedules together because they've just figured out how to A, be respectful of each other's schedules. Mom makes sure, because dad's not a very patient morning cook person. Very few people are patient morning cook people. We want to wake up and we just sort of want bacon to be ready.
Mm,
I mean,
that'd be
I
cool.
want to wake up and just have bacon magically be ready. That'd be great. It doesn't work that way, but boy, wouldn't it be fun?
Wouldn't that be great? Oh
Wouldn't that
man.
be great? So, like, that's fine. But mom doesn't do breakfasts. So, like, she gets up at 10 and she doesn't need till noon. Well, it works for her. I have to eat within 30 minutes of being conscious. Like, I have to put food in my system or I am miserable all day. But if I get up and have breakfast, and I get up in the morning, and mom gets up at 10, I'm usually having a snack or coffee or something, right? We have lunch together. Might be her breakfast, but it's my lunch, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. because we've divested the idea that breakfast has to be oatmeal or it has to be cereal or it has to be toast. Breakfast is whatever you put in front of your face and eat. And there's
It's
amazing
whatever you break your
breakfasts.
fast with.
Did I send you that reel of? Okay, so there's this guy who does like pseudo intellectual arguments. Like he likes to debate things,
Oh yeah, with
especially the meaning
the
of
his
words,
daughter had
with the
pickles for
pickles
breakfast.
breakfast, and it's a legit response. Uh, since breakfast is the first meal of the day, and meal is a portion of food and or food thing. So pickles is a portion of food. So pickles are a breakfast food. Um,
Sure.
like, oh, I just justified cake any day I want. I broke my fast with
I
cake.
mean,
Cool.
you might want to have like some fiber and like healthy fats along with that.
So cake with icing and walnuts?
Well, you might want to like balance out the incredible sugar high with something that'll like
What kind of cake are you eating?
the sugary cake kind.
So I'm talking like the slab cake I make at home, which has like a quarter of the sugar from the bakery store cakes that you're apparently eating.
Well, I mean, yeah, because we just established I don't have a cake tin, so if I'm eating cake, it's the big sugary bakery kind.
Which I can't have because it's full of corn. So
Touche.
there is like half a cup of sugar for an 8 by 11 slab cake. There are many pieces of cake in an 8 by 11 slab cake.
Fair enough. Okay, carry on then.
My cake
I
is
was
fine.
thinking bakery cake.
No. And I don't ice it because icing's just it's the wrong kind of cake for icing. You can make it into a poke cake and put like caramel drizzle in it if you want it, but you have it
There it is.
with
I
like
need
ice
stuffing.
cream on the side. Then technically I've had dairy, I've had eggs, I've had flour, I've had a little bit of sugar. Everything breaks down to sugar anyway. I had some walnuts or pecans in there. There's some sort of high fats going on in there. It's a rounded breakfast. I don't know what you people do.
Part of this balanced breakfast.
It is a balanced breakfast. So I just whatever. It delights me. But yeah, it's just there's some social things I wish we would just sort of let go. They're not necessary, but we seem to be hyper fixated on the wrong things. And I don't know
Melanie
why, but we are.
says, I grew up not eating junk food until after 12 noon, and that was the rule. Until I was in my 20s now, if I want a chocolate bar at 10:30, I have the damn bar. Lol. Yep.
No.
We're grown-ups. We can do grown-up things like eat chocolate bars for breakfast.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. That's too much sweet for me, but I
Liz
also
says,
like I grew up eating oatmeal and toast for breakfast. I will still have toast for breakfast. I absolutely hate all caps rage nerd flip table hate oatmeal. Hate
which I don't get. I
oatmeal.
love oatmeal. Oatmeal's great.
I love oats. I put oats in what I drink oat milk. I have oat bars. I make oatmeal cookies. All of oats everywhere. Just oats in my hamburger, handmade hamburger, because we couldn't put the breadcrumbs in the homemade hamburgers because Dad's allergic to the yeast that would be in the
Oh my god, yeah, you
breadcrumbs.
could totally use like oat flour or stuff in that.
I don't use flour. Literally use oatmeal. Just the
Just
dried
oatmeal.
oats. Just the dried oats. Just go right in as is.
Ah, I might try that
Because
next time I need to not use breadcrumbs in something.
because Dad can't have the breadcrumbs because he's allergic to the yeast. So I grew up with hamburgers and oatmeal in them. So trust me, when you feed me homemade hamburgers and they have breadcrumbs in them, it's weird. It's weird. Where
I don't
did I
even
put
put
my
breadcrumbs in
sandwich?
mine. Mine are
Yeah,
literally just like
I don't do it. But
it's meat and some flavor.
pretty much. Uh, though my mom tried making a hamburger, she said it was called an Amish hamburger, and instead of egg, they used milk, and it made her burgers poofy. Her
Poofy.
words, people. So I'm like, well, I need to try that. I want poofy burgers, darn it. And if it works with regular milk, it'll work relatively the same with plant-based milk. Then I could take the egg out of the homemade hamburger, and it's the egg that sets me off because I can't have egg that much. Dude, guys, I love eggs. I love the taste of eggs. I love the texture of eggs. I love egg salad sandwiches. I love hard boiled eggs. I love sunny side up eggs. I love soft eggs. I love poached eggs. I love omelets. I love eggs. Eggs do not love me.
That's very sad.
Eggs do not love me. I love deviled eggs. I and I can't have any of it. And it hurts me. It hurts me so bad. I hate that I picked up that intolerance. It's just like, really? I'm already lactose intolerant. Isn't that enough? Isn't that enough, people?
No, you gotta be intolerant to more of the food. You
Of
know,
course
just
I do.
make life more challenging.
Make my life more interesting, why don't you? All right. Let's start a side scene.
Ah, this little chonk is so cute. I love these things.
Side scene. Side scene.
Liz was saying time change can have adverse health effects, including strokes and heart attacks. It does affect mental health. I have also, yeah, I've seen studies like that where there's like the ER just like explodes after time changes.
Oh yeah,
Usually
the
the
ER
spring
also
one, I think.
explodes after full moons.
Yeah,
Halloween, Christmas,
I don't know why full
Thanksgiving.
moons. Why full moons?
It's something to do with the biorhythms.
Like that one's weird to me.
My brain has always been like, okay, is it that that's the time change, or that we're susceptible, and that's the stressor that puts us over the edge? Like that's the straw that
Well, yeah,
broke the
it's
camel's
the
back.
psychological
Yeah,
effect of shifting things by an hour.
yeah.
It's not.
Making my bed wasn't how I injured my hand. Making my bed is when my hand mutinied because of all the other stress I'd already put it under.
Yeah, so like it's the final thing.
That's the final straw. Like that's when my body was like, no. I'm like, okay. No, it
Um,
is.
Melanie says I've used milk and oatmeal as a binder in meatloaf.
Oh
I've
yeah,
actually never made
absolutely.
meatloaf.
I love meatloaf. Meatloaf is amazing. I have a mushroom lentil meatloaf, and I have a lentil nut meatloaf. So fake meatloafs that are quite
I've
tasty.
made the fake meatloaf, the like a vegan kind, a couple of times, which is super good.
Oh yeah,
I've
no,
never actually
the
made
meat
like a meat loaf.
a meatloaf,
Yeah, like a meaty meatloaf, a non-vegan meatloaf,
it's quite tasty.
but like vegan lentil loaves, those are great. Okay, invisible decrease.
Gonna
Single crochet one
start my stitches,
and
which is always the
slip
hardest part.
stitch one. Come here. Yarn, slip,
Give me your yarn.
stitch. There we go. Yeah, that's what I say. Come here, yarn.
This is a side seam. Hello, running back stitch.
And now I just need to sew in his little end, and then he's all done.
The waistband took longer because those need to be back stitches, and the back stitch takes just a touch longer.
Go in here and out there.
Oh, I shouldn't have left the
And in
window
here and
open in the
out
front
there.
room. Cold air, she's a creeping in. And six of one, half a dozen of the other. If I turn the steam heat off in the living room, the apartment's quite comfortable. But the steam heater's quite loud because the steam keeps hitting the off valve.
Mm.
So it gets noisy. So I can have
Right.
less noise if I leave the valve open. But then that means I occasionally want to open the window for a while. Because then I have a balmy 24-degree apartment going on.
There we go. He's done.
Oh, he's so cute.
His little chonk and his little tail and his little toes. Beep,
Little toesies.
beep, beep, beep. He's so cute. Okay.
Uh,
My go-to recipe for meatloaf is from the five. Sorry, I can't read. It's from the Five Roses Flour Cookbook. It's the one my grandmother used. Instead of gravy, there's a ketchup, brown sugar, dried mustard glaze on the top.
I've never put gravy on top of my meatloafs. I've always done homemade ketchup. Never even
When
occurred
my
to me
mom
that you
made
could put
meatloaf,
gravy.
there was no sauce. There was cheese in it, though.
No cheese.
It was like burger with chunks of cheese.
No, no cheese.
Meatloaf didn't happen very often. I don't think anybody liked it particularly much. I think my mom made it because it was easy.
No, no cheese in my growing up meatloaf. And I obviously don't eat ketchup. My niece does. I don't.
The vegan one that I've made had like a tomato maple glaze. It was pretty good. All right, I want to make a second one of these now. I want to make a red one.
Why are you making triceratops?
For advent calendar. I don't think it's secret
Ah,
that there were gonna be at least one triceratops in the advent calendar.
that's fair.
I don't think that's secret.
If it isn't, if it was, it isn't now.
I don't think that was ever secret.
Nope.
But also, my advent partner isn't here, so
Oh, you're good then.
I think I'm
You're good
okay.
then.
So I made one regular white one, but for the red one, there's this alternate frill option that has like stripies.
Sure. I'm not gonna be able to see the pictures, so I won't
Yeah,
worry
it's
about it.
so blown out. Okay, I'll just make it and then I'll show you.
Yeah, that'll be
But
better.
there's an alternate frill option that I haven't tried yet. But I figure if I'm doing Christmas themed triceratops, I'll make a red one that has white frill.
Ooh, that'd be cute.
So there's an all white one, and then I'll have a red one with a white frill, and they can be friends.
We can be friends.
Yeah, they're my advent partner's getting Christmas dinos.
Don't get me wrong, the dinosaurs are freaking adorable. I love my little triceratops.
Oh, Tracy's wrapping her advent right now. I
Oh, I poked myself with the needle.
definitely need to work faster on my advent. Have some stuff.
I've got two things I need to finish, but they're handmade, so I can't start those till Monday. And I have to have it in the mail really shortly because it's got to go to Norway. Thank heavens. We're only doing 12 days also. And part of my advent is chilling in Saskatchewan, so she's getting it in two pieces because my parents have to mail the other part. She's getting some handmade things from Daddy.
Oh, fancy.
Mm-hmm. He asked if I'd like to do that for the advent, and I was like, would I? But I didn't think about it till you're here now. He's like, no, we can just put it in the mail. It's fine. Like, works for me. Because mailing it here to mail it to Norway makes no sense. No sense whatsoever.
Okay, come on. Get this first round is always the most annoying. Single crochet.
My tension wasn't amazing. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing.
Increase. Back loop only. Single crochet. And then in both loops. It's a free pattern, so it doesn't matter that I'm saying things. Increase, that's what we're doing.
Why do I want to
One,
finish the edges of the inside of this skirt?
two.
It's a good question.
A polar
Good question.
triceratops? Absolutely. We'll have that. We'll have a polar triceratops and a Christmas triceratops. Also says most of my advent is already with my partner.
It's true, it is. And stupid monsters already tried to climb into the box 3 times.
Uh huh.
I had to put it on the highest shelf in the back end of the corner of the closet. So when I'm asking where it is, it's the top shelf of the closet later. Because she's just obsessed about getting in there to smell everything. And I'm like, we're not supposed to know it exists for. What did the radio say today? 58 days till Christmas?
Yeah, sounds about right. I'm just gonna not think too hard about that, especially because my Christmas is at the beginning of December, so it's like 1 month away.
Uh huh.
My parents arrive in 30 days, 31 days.
Do you know what I hear out of all of those wordages?
Hmm.
Means you're going to be home alone Christmas Day.
That's the current working theory.
And it looks like I'll be home alone on Christmas Day.
Hmm. Where's this going?
We might be able to do some streaming for fun. Save
Potentially.
our Christmas Day casts on.
Oh.
I know.
Oh.
It's sounding like they'd like to do Christmas with Grandpa out in Brandon. So if they do that, they will come into town early, do like the day before or something with us here and the a couple of days before with us kids here in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, I got a noodle in my face. Then spend Christmas Day with Grandpa out in Brandon. Because my dad has to be back at the church for the 27th. They are refinishing a chunk of floors while there are no parishioners wandering in and out all the time.
That makes sense.
Which, you know what? Logical. I too would also choose to do that. But as he's the handyman on site, he needs to be there for that. So I was like, well, let's just structure it that way. I'm like, my brother in law is busy all the way through to New Year because he works grocery. So he doesn't even get Christmas Day off. Somebody has to go check the freezers. And it's not a part time staffer that does that.
Gross.
It's customer service. Uh, so why not? We generally just do a supper anyway. So if we do a supper a day or two early, who cares? I mean, obviously, no stockings for Christmas Day because Santa doesn't show up till then, but I'm quite capable of opening my own stocking. I am an adult. I'm sure Phaedra will help me with hers. She always does. Because at
Mm-hmm.
some point there's catnip in some toy in there somewhere, and she's after that catnip, like hardcore.
Oh yeah.
This one, Mom, this box. Open this box. I'm like, yeah, but if I open that box, she'll ignore me. This box! It's got the good stuff. I may know my cat very well. Okay.
Three,
So I'm home for
four.
Christmas Day and you're home for Christmas Day. I feel like that's just perfect homemade cinnamon buns in the morning, bacon tomato sandwiches at lunch, cast on Christmas Day ness, and then I can have leftovers for dinner. Like that sounds ideal.
That does
That sounds
sound
like a lovely Christmas Day to me.
sounds pretty great.
That sounds really good. I'm quite excited by this. Oh, I hope
My
it works
other
out that way.
plan for the week of Christmas, or I guess between Christmas and New Year, somewhere in there, I'm thinking I'm gonna buy Baldur's Gate 3 and just
Ooh,
disappear into it for a week.
sure, why not?
And maybe there's a Christmas sale so that it's not an $80 game.
Did you see It Takes Two of Us is down to like $19?
I had not seen that. I just did that. Okay,
Get there.
this is the one where I need to
And I
do.
feel like that'll be a delightful game for the two of us to play together, since it's about a couple who is divorcing that have to work together to make it through puzzles, and I feel like that's just how we work through puzzles anyway. Any of the Patreon members have ever seen an After Dark video, if you're at that level.
One, two.
I am an excellent supervisor, and Diana likes to throw me around by my head.
It's the part of you I can reach.
You know, it's fair. Given the amount of time it takes me to jump up on things, super fair. All right.
Nikki says, finally weaved in the end on my throwback. The color work was made out of my hand spin. Hand
Nice.
spun. Blech.
I'm assuming you meant spun.
That is what I meant. Yes, I said the wrong thing. I read the correct letters.
Oh,
The
good.
wrong pronunciation came out of my face.
It happens.
Okay, so we single crochet. And then we have double crochet.
Ah, learn how to make a
And
knot.
then we double crochet and double crochet.
How long do we have left on the sprint?
Double crochet one more time. 1 minute.
Okay.
And then we do 2 double crochets. Oh, come on. In the right spot. There we go. 2 double crochets.
Well, that's not too bad. I'll have gotten.
It's the increase.
I'll
And
get
then
you in
we
there.
do a single
Ooh.
and a single.
I did about half of a side seam on a midi length skirt, so below the knee skirt.
It's not bad.
Not too bad for hand sewing.
Do an increase.
And I'm absolutely going to secure my yarn and thread to my project, so I don't
Double
misplace this.
crochet. Double crochet increase. Sprint's done.
Okay.
I want to finish this round though. Double crochet increase. A half double crochet. And a single crochet.
I am
It's trying to be another half double. Hang on.
packing down my new
Here we go.
needle and thread.
Okay, and then it says using a strand of white yarn, begin going around the outer stitches of the frill towards the center. When you reach the center, hide the end down the center, and then
There we go.
I've got a separate video on this. I'm gonna watch this video. Da, da, da.
There we go.
Okay, wait, this is the part. This is the
Now
part
fold the project up.
where we've got a frill. What are we doing with the frill?
Making it frilly. I'll be here all week, folks.
Okay.
There we go.
What are we
All of
doing?
the pins are facing one direction, which is what I need. Okay. I'm going to go close the kitchen window, living room window while you watch your video because we're in break
Uh,
mode.
we are in break mode. I'm trying to find out where exactly I'm doing these stitches. Okay. He's doing the thing. We're going across the bottom. Yes, lovely. Okay, we're doing the round. That's fine. I want to know what you're doing with this white thread. Okay. We pull it up through some stitches on the side. Leave a tail. Put that inside. And then we come up from behind the frill, so I've got to do one more round anyway. Oh, stop talking and do the thing. Okay. And then are we just like whip stitching around the top? Into each, I think we're just whip stitching into each stitch. That does appear to be that we're just whip stitching into each stitch. Okay. That's pretty straightforward.
Did you finish watching your video?
I found the part that I needed to watch.
Oh, good.
Because this secondary video that they've made was just a live stream.
Mm.
So there's a
Oh,
lot of
good.
talking. It's not snappy like a tutorial video.
I feel like
So I'm
that's not the
learning.
end of the world.
It's not. It just means that the part I wanted to watch was a little tricky to find.
It's fair.
Asa says, I'm home on Christmas Day night.
You are. Would you like to join us for some casting on? Potentially. Schedule dependent because we are still 58 days out, which means I don't know what Dad's doing yet.
Yeah.
and I won't till I get right there. Because plans
And
change.
Nikki says, finally weaved in the end on my throw. Oh, no, I read that already. Sorry.
On the throwback.
Yes. Sorry, I missed Asa's previous message from before. I read the messages out of order. I'm sorry. They are presented to me in order. I
Ooh.
just read them out of order sometimes.
Really? I apparently cut my
Okay.
finger. Okay, cool.
What are you
You
doing to your
want
finger?
to.
Don't injure yourself. You've done
Apparently,
that already.
apparently I cut it when I was cutting things the other day.
Oh, like a
I
paper cut?
put lotion. Yeah, and I put lotion on him. I have
Oh.
registered it now. Ooh, boy. Oh.
And then we just weave it down in there. Okay. I think I understand what's going on now.
It's a thing. Oh, goodness. You guys send out positive vibes and say, I'm going to behave and I will publish the cowl the moment we're done this. I'll just go do the cowl publishing right away and I'll just magically have $30 in my account for dinner. Right? They'll just be like, there'll be a flash
Absolutely.
sale. Everybody will buy patterns.
Yes.
Then I don't have to make dinner and dessert. I
Exactly.
can just do dessert. That would be phenomenal. Universe, I'm sending out the right vibes. They don't make me make dinner vibes. Um, I'm sure that helps.
Definitely.
I was really good this morning. I cleaned the cat box and I swept the floor in the bathroom and I showered and I made my bed and I've already emptied the dishwasher and I started putting the dishes for today in it. I have full on, I have pants on.
Pants on. Whoa, that might be too much adulting.
I have adulted hard since I got out of bed this morning and I didn't even get cranky at the lady who woke me up an hour before my alarm went off. I feeling very pro. It's because there's not a lot of time for me tonight. It's because I've got D&D tonight.
Mm.
So I don't have like a lot of downtime this evening.
Ooh, Melly says the mister is barbecuing cow for supper.
Barbecued cows always good.
Barbecued anything is delicious.
Not anything, but a lot of barbecued stuff is delicious.
I don't know, what can you barbecue that's not good?
I haven't run across anything, but I'm not going to say there isn't something out there that would be, awful if you did barbecue it, because I don't know.
Jello. Don't barbecue jello.
Probably not good to barbecue jello. Cow, potatoes, fish, tofu, veggies. Like there's a lot of things that are tasty off of a
Even
barbecue.
lettuce a little bit. You char some lettuce.
Yeah. I prefer to I really like charred broccoli, but I
Mashed
like the char
potatoes.
of the broccoli. Also probably not good to barbecue.
It would be tricky.
But like my mom does like those thinly sliced scalloped potatoes where you put like the aluminum foil and the wet newspaper and aluminum foil and put the potatoes and
Yeah.
the onions in and you roll them up like a big old packet and you toss that on the barbecue. Like those are amazing. So
Hmm.
good. So good. So
Never
like
done
there's a lot of
potatoes
things
like
that
that.
are tasty. Oh, they're a staple. They're a staple. Same with potato salad with eggs, which upsets my stomach, but I don't seem to stop eating it. It's really
This is reminding me. After our next sprint, don't let me forget, I need to actually put the chicken in the oven so that we can eat it at a reasonable time.
okay. End of sprint. Say go cook dead bird. Check.
Yes, end of sprint, I need to
Can
do
do
bird things.
that.
The end of our next sprint will be about 4:30 my time,
Yeah.
for the record.
Okay. Which will put us at 4 sprints. Do we want to do 4 or 5? We usually do 4 or 5. How many do we want to do today?
Yeah, well, we're sitting at about 3 hours of stream time right now, so.
So this will be the last one. Then you can go do your dead bird.
And then I gotta go make dinner.
Yeah,
And I gotta
that
go
works.
learn how to make tomato rice. And
That's easy.
yeah. Also gonna look up a recipe for scalloped potatoes because I'm realizing I've never done that. And that also sounds really
What?
good.
Have you
Never
never
done
done
scalloped
scalloped
potatoes.
potatoes?
Never done a scalloped
Weirdo.
potato.
Weirdo. Where is my
Oh,
waffle
Melanie
cardigan?
has an interesting point. She's wondering if you've tried farm fresh eggs because store bought eggs can upset my stomach as well, but farm fresh not so much.
Yes. And no. I still have problems with eggs.
Oh, okay.
Cardigan's over there.
Yeah? Cardigan's over
I have to
there?
go. I gotta go get it. I
Okay.
just sat down.
We'll
The
go get it and then I'll start the timer for our
sigh.
last sprint.
Okay. Ah, what am I doing? Tacking. Yeah. Things going sideways.
Things and stuff and stuff and things. Just looking at dates for stuff. Okay. Oh, this will work out. Okay. Good. Good, good, good. Wait for headphones.
It's the
I was
same like
looking
when
up
people
dates.
ask me about cheese. And I was like, no, I can have lactose free cheese, but I don't super enjoy most lactose free cheese. And while yes, I can have goat cheese, I don't like the taste of goat cheese.
It's fair.
And I don't like the
Any
taste of
sufficiently aged cheese has effectively zero lactose.
I love well aged old cheddars. They're very sharp, hard cheeses. Parmesan I can have because there's pretty much no lactose in Parmesan.
Mm.
Um, I don't really like the stinky cheeses. It's just a flavor thing. I don't really like them. But yeah, they are lower in lactose. So like there are ways to like watch what I'm doing, But quite frankly, it's just really not worth it. It's just really not worth it. I can just, in fact, enjoy a lot of food without
Without cheese.
cheese. Same way as I can, in fact, enjoy a lot of food without eggs. So it's like, no, it's
There's a
just
great deal of food to be enjoyed without cheese and or eggs.
without cheese
There's
or
also a great
eggs.
deal of food to be enjoyed with cheese and eggs.
Yeah. And I'm not lacking for it, right? Like
Nah,
it's the same with like
it's
I can
fine.
have processed farmed meat, but I can have very little of it before my stomach gets upset. But I can eat game meat for days. Irrelevant. You really shouldn't be having meat proteins any more than like what, 3 or 4 times a week? You're supposed to be getting other forms of proteins and
We're
vegetables
supposed to
and
eat
meats and
vegetables.
grains. Like you're supposed to be eating other things, and the protein can come from other places.
Ooh, quiche. Both egg and cheese.
Oh yeah, that would be a terrible idea.
Yeah, don't eat quiche.
Don't eat quiche. It's not a thing I'm gonna try. So it's like
You're missing out a little bit on quiche. Like, quiche is really easy to do bad, but like
I
a good quiche.
I don't feel like I am. I don't feel like I am.
Just tiny bit.
Don't feel like I am.
Alright, I'm gonna start this last sprint. And then I
Go
need
for
to
it.
go roast a chicken.
Yep. Gotta go deal with some
Begin!
dead bird. Dead bird. But turkey wise, yeah. Like as soon as you start seeing turkeys, keep an eye out and pick one up on sale or when they've got a good selection so you can get the right one. Like don't wait. Don't wait till you get close to your date. Just stick it in the freezer.
Yeah. Well, the last
And cook
time
you're cooking it
we
the day
went,
before anyway, unless you're dumb. Don't be dumb. Cook it the day before.
depending on what else is going on, I might be able to cook it day. It depends what else is going on.
Oh, always cook
I
the day
am
before.
I am a big fan of well, I guess cuz you still have to carve it and everything, don't you? And it's greasy. Yeah,
You
day
do the
before.
turkey the day before. You chop it all up.
Can you even do if you're doing mashed potatoes and stuff, you can do that the day before.
Yeah. And if you've got them in like those reheating pan things, you stagger those in the oven. You're only bringing the oven up to a warming temperature to bring everything up to temperature. All of a sudden, 3/4 of your meal is already prepped and it's working in the oven while you work on your last little bit.
Yeah. So, pre-cooking the food. It's a good time.
It's a smart idea. What's a smart
It worked out
idea?
well last year with everybody being here because, yeah, we did. Like, the day before, we cooked 3/4 of the food. So
Yeah.
we had the everybody in the kitchen cooking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we had that fun. But then the next day, it was just all done. And it was nice. And I learned that I still don't have enough space in my oven or my fridge. My poor fridge. We had to use the downstairs fridge too. That was a lot of food.
Yeah.
Did you know that 6 people, 6 adults, eat a lot more food than 2 adults?
Yes.
Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
It's wild.
Lots. Did you know
And
when your family's full of food allergies, it looks like you've made dinner for 12 people, even though there's only 6 of you, because you have to accommodate so many things that people can't have or it'll make them sick?
yeah.
Uh,
One, two,
things I hate acknowledging I have to deal with.
3, 4,
All right, here we go. Time to
5,
attach.
6,
No, Ed, come back here. Come back here, Ed. Don't
8,
do it.
9, 10,
I would like to secure you.
11,
I'd like to secure you.
and 12.
All right, let's do some incredibly boldly practical. doesn't super matter because I'm not going to be able to see it, so I don't actually care that much. If you're
That's a good
that
argument.
close to my stomach, you better be buying me dinner first. We ain't going to be
All
having
right.
words.
Let's let's try this frill decoration.
So the boys wanted to play some new characters because it's a one shot, two of them.
Okay.
The usual two who play originally played Tulio and Miguel, yes, from the Rodel Dorado, who are currently playing Kronk and Esme, yes, from the Emperor's New Groove. I've decided for fun for a one shot, they're gonna just play some one shot characters. Everybody said, "Cool, no problem, have fun, do it." What did they pick? A cleric and a paladin. Really, really, you had all week to tell me somebody else was going to play a cleric. I could have played something else. I would have made a one shot character. I would have had fun making a one shot character. I don't have enough time to make a one shot character. I don't have enough time to make a one shot character and make dinner and make dessert and put away the groceries, like, and finish my adulting, which is putting on my pajamas and taking off my pants. But you know what? It's an important step. Like, so now the party's going to consist of a fighter, a ranger, two clerics, and a paladin.
Well,
Okay,
sure.
sure. Gertrude's gonna die trying to keep all of these people alive. I don't even know if Kronk has ever played a cleric. We will find out. They are a wildly different class from fighter. And
I've
rogue.
never played a
Wildly
cleric.
different from fighter and rogue.
Mm.
Which are the other two classes I've seen him play? Maybe he'll play like a really bad cleric that runs into battle. It'll be good that I'm still there.
I mean, is it possible to have too many clerics?
No.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4,
I could have
5,
played a bard.
6.
Like, it could have been something fun. Never played a bard before. That'd be interesting.
7,
Though on the bright side, we're almost
8.
out of October, which means the break that the Lord of the Rings campaign has taken and the D&D group has taken because the DM has been for fun. He picked up extra work so he could work at Heebie-Jeebies, which is a monstrously huge, multiple horror mazes just outside of town.
Oh, okay.
Like there's
I mean, that
200
sounds fun, though.
staff. There's 200 staff there. Like
Holy,
it's
really?
a
That's
big
big.
thing. It's big. So he's been doing that over Halloween, which he's said has been absolutely a rip roaringly good time. He has been so delighted with what he's been doing, which is scaring the ever loving bejesus out of people. Is what he's been doing. He's
But
hired
that's so fun.
to do horror, so that's totally fine. It was great. He's thoroughly enjoying it, and which worked because one of the other guys wanted to finish the cabin he's been working on for like 3 years now. So we all of us said, "Oh well, let's just take October off, and we'll meet up again in November, so that way you can finish cabins and do the heebie-jeebies." And one of the other guys in the Lord of the Rings is he's a fireworks technician, so he's got all of his end of year stuff he's got going on right in this month.
Right.
But man, I miss D&D. I miss Lord of the Rings. I'll be very happy to go back and play. Very excited to go back and play.
Busy month.
Not that I begrudge them the work, because I don't. Because I don't.
Get out
Especially
of there.
since the
Get out of
guy
there.
who's building the cabin, him and his wife have decided to instead of building a new home since they sold their home, they're converting and adding a massive expansion onto her parents' house
Oh,
so
okay.
that they can have a multi-generational home so that way
Oh,
her
neat.
parents can stay at home longer
That's cool.
as they age. They'll already have the support systems set up and built in so they have access
I love
to
that idea.
drivers and help and stuff. So I'm we're all super stoked that we're doing it. Like when I first met him and we dated, he was living with his granny. Same reason. He was there to help her get to appointments and stuff. So like This is already a thing he knows how to do, and he's done it before. But I love the multi-generational house. The trick is just everybody needs their own space, right? So like
Yeah.
a big enough addition that they have a private room and public rooms, like they have their own living space and stuff. And what they share is a kitchen, dining room space, but like they have their own bathrooms, they have their own.
Yeah.
So you have personal space, and like just like that's amazing. So I'm so excited that they're doing that.
Okay. Disregard the stupendous number of ends, but look, he's got a frill.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right, that wasn't too much effort. Oh, I've been informed that scalloped potatoes can take literally hours. Cooking time can take 3 hours or more. Some potatoes can take a long time to cook. Okay, so not
Cooking a
making scalloped potatoes today.
Okay, like 45 minutes.
I don't know. I've never
45
made a
minutes.
scalloped potato, so I would not know.
My mom's scalloped potatoes have never taken longer than an hour. You're baking them in an oven, is what you're doing.
Yeah, scalloped potatoes is like slices and you bake them,
Yep.
right?
Pretty much. Different flavorings and additives. But if you have a regular basic red potato or russet potato, you're fine.
The standard kitchen potato.
The standard kitchen, you're fine. Just make sure your slices are thin and even, and you don't add too much extra stuff. Cover your dish, because if you make them in the oven, it should be in a casserole dish with a lid.
Melanie says I make the kind that comes in a box.
That also is faster than homemade.
Nikki says the recipe I used said 45 minutes. It was not done until almost 3 hours later.
Oh no,
Wild.
no, it's never
Maybe the
taken longer
recipe
than
had
45 minutes.
maybe the recipe was wrong.
Or had like severely wrong oven temperature.
Maybe your oven was lying to you about what temperature it was.
Yeah, like
They do
'cause
that sometimes.
when we do it on the barbecue, the potatoes go out. 20 minutes later, Dad takes the meat out, and they're both done at the same time. And it's about 20 minutes to cook the meat. Because yes, we fill up the barbecue that much. So it's 40-45
Proper
minutes.
ones take hours, said Tracy.
Oh, no. But again, I also
Mm.
we don't do scalloped potatoes with milk or cheese or eggs because again, allergies in the family. So like a scalloped potato is the sliced potatoes with onions, a bit of spices, and my mom likes red potatoes, so we already have extra moisture content and we don't have to worry about adding moisture content because you need extra moisture with russet potatoes. They're a higher starch. Red potatoes have a very low starch content to them.
Hmm.
Varies what the potato is good for cooking for, but like
Nikki
I
says it was
would
a
not
russet
spend that
potato,
long.
and also says it might differ with type of potatoes, but about 50 minutes is what I'm used
Yeah,
to.
yeah, 40, 45
Tracy says,
minutes.
but I make a huge one.
Oh, see, I make for like four people max. So like it's a
That might
small
be a difference if
casserole
you're making
thing.
like the family barbecue versus like a
Like,
regular weeknight.
yeah, that would definitely change things.
Volume does make a difference.
Volume does make a difference.
No,
And it's like people are like,
we
"How
have a
does
little
it did
frill
you
on this
make
guy.
roasted potatoes in the morning? Isn't it take so long?" I'm like, no.
No, if you
How are
cube
you
some
making
potatoes
your
and like,
how are you making your potatoes?
if I make my cubes too big, it's like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm like, nope. Nope, I'm good.
If you make them
In
small
fact,
enough, they cook even faster. Wow, there's a child outside. That's weird. There's no children in this neighborhood. Why is there a child? I don't understand. I'm confused and scared.
for the
Send help.
record, yes, she's gonna be that nosy neighbor when they find a house.
Oh, absolutely. I gotta make friends with my neighbors.
You haven't made friends with your neighbors yet.
Yeah, well, my neighbors change every 4 months, so there's like not much point.
make sure this bottom of the pocket is secure.
Skewer.
Secure.
And eyes and
Mm-hmm.
horns. Okay. Where's my horns?
One more to unsecure bottom pocket situation.
Also says I make for about 4 people
Situation.
as well. Nikki says my oven is fine. I make bread and cookies, and the temperature is never a problem. But I find scalloped potato from scratch can take anywhere from 1 to 3 hours in my experience.
Oh,
Interesting.
that has never taken longer than an hour. Never, ever. I wouldn't make them if they took longer than an hour.
Well, I will try a scalloped potato, but not today. Today I will try tomato rice.
Well, it's because you're gonna. Oh, I can't put that
Oops.
much weight on my
What's
hand.
going on here? That's
You're
wrong.
gonna want to have time to find a recipe you want to try.
Well, I know tomato rice is like you cook it with tomato juice, basically.
Soup.
Which I don't have, but I have tomato paste, so I'm sure I can figure it out.
Yeah. We can also. Do you have diced tomatoes?
We should. We usually do.
We've got diced tomatoes. You can add it into your tomato paste with some herbs and stuff. My goal is to find a really good fish casserole and stew this year.
There's too many ends in this guy's head. Can't find the end that I'm actually trying to look for to pull this thing. Like, look at all those ends. There's like a yarn barf coming out of the back of this head.
Whew, that's a lot of ends.
I'm just trying to get his horn on straight. That looks pretty straight. It's a struggle.
The struggle.
It is. It's a struggle. Got 9 minutes of sprint
Oh,
left.
so I watched the dude who did baking yesteryear.
Oh yes. What's his face? That guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
Dylan
he's
Hollis,
flipping.
something like that.
He's adorable. I love him to bits.
He's
Um,
wonderful.
I have graham cracker crumbs, and I have pumpkin, and I have chicken eggs. The recipe specifies chicken eggs. There's a
Specifically
whole
chicken
series.
eggs.
He's got a whole series of comment on that one. Uh, and it makes like a pumpkin loaf thing.
Ah.
And I pumpkin bread. Anyway, I want to try making it. It looks like a delightful experiment. You've got Tuesday this week. It's your experimental Tuesday.
It is. It is my goal to have the cleaning vlog finished editing.
Oh, good.
Because I filmed all that and I've started editing. So it is my goal to have that done.
Well, we just have
I
recording
actually look
tomorrow.
kind of competent. I'm really impressed with myself. It actually looks okay.
Uh,
Yeah, that looks alright.
so that'll be my last can of pumpkin puree till I find more. Boy, I hope I can find more pumpkin puree.
I bought a can of pumpkin at the store the other day with the intent that I'm going to make more of that curry pumpkin soup.
Ooh.
It's got an apple and carrot in it and stuff. It's very fall. That was the one that I was complaining about. The recipe was like 2 quarts of chicken stock and a quarter teaspoon of cumin.
Yeah, that's not enough
Yeah,
cumin.
no. But
I
if
found
you
that cumin.
ignore what it says about spices and put in 3 tablespoons of garam masala, then it actually works out quite well.
Oh, good. Ladies and peeps, we have a pocket.
Yay, pocket! It's on right side up, right?
Yep, this is the bottom of the cardigan.
Okay, just checking.
Fair.
Some days,
Absolutely fair.
you just,
Some days I would sew it on upside down.
right? Like,
Yep, I
just.
totally would do that.
Alright, what? Hold do you want to go in to be straight? I feel like you want to
Oh,
go
ah,
right about here.
sweet jumping Jehoshaphat.
Is that straight? Straight enough.
What I really want to try cooking again is brisket.
Oh, that does take hours.
It should be overnight. Because it's like 12 to 14 hours minimum or something to do it right.
One day when we have a more permanent house, we want to get a smoker and do stuff like brisket
Ooh,
outside.
doing it, get an electric smoker.
My parents' neighbors have a smoker, and those neighbors get real popular when they're making stuff.
I imagine it smells great.
It really does.
I thoroughly endorse you guys getting a smoker once you have a house, because then you can smoke salmon for me.
I'm very into this.
I love smoked
Where
salmon
is your. There
so
we go.
dang much. So dang much, peoples. All right. Gosh, I keep forgetting how heavy this cardigan is. Ooh, it looks so good with a pocket. Now to give it the other pocket.
Okay, where's the other set of horns? Go. Are you a horn? No, you're a horn. There's too many ends in here. I'm very annoyingly not quite going to get this Triceratops done this sprint. I'm going to be a few minutes shy.
We'll be a few minutes shy.
Look at his sweet little face. He's cute. Well, I'm not sure how I feel about the bigger frill.
Not sold.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
I reserve judgment for when he's done.
I have stitch markers everywhere. Thanks to Susanna.
Aw, Tracy says, grr, one thing short for the advent. So close.
So those ones where you're like,
I miscounted.
I hate when I do that. Why? What was it that fell off? I don't know. But it's a pain in the butt. I'm gonna have to go figure it out.
Okay.
Stitch markers.
Now I get to do 3 rounds of single crochet.
I'm clipping the second pocket on because I won't have time to sew it down. But that's one sewn pocket in 20 minutes. That's not bad. I thought for
Melanie
sure
says, my middle
pockets
daughter used to call them pock-icks. She was
pocket
3.
there.
That's cute. A pock-ick?
I love a mispronunciation from kids. It's just so dang cute. And you just know as an adult, if you're willing to admit it about yourself, that you're gonna embarrass them when they're older with that info.
Oh, absolutely. Mine was hoptercopter. Couldn't say helicopter.
Optocopter.
Hoptercopter. Nikki says, Marvel wants to cuddle, so my sprint was cut short. Worth it, because cuddle.
Yup. Yup.
Cuddles are a very important thing to do with your sprints.
I agree. Okay,
When Tracy's figured out what to do for Advent. Excellent.
oh, good.
I need to figure out some like little snowmen or snowflakes or something.
Ha ha ha. There you go.
Thankfully, I have lots of red and
We're
white.
picked. We have the yarn pulled out and cut. Now, what in the world did I drop on the floor?
I don't have any Christmassy green. I have, like, acid green. I could solve this problem by going and buying some green, but I can also just find things to do that are red and white. And not have to go buy more yarn. Because, as evidenced by the background, I have plenty.
You know, you say that a lot, and then you say you can't do things because you don't have the right yarns. I'm not sure
I
which
don't.
you to
The
believe.
yarn that I buy and the yarn that I use are generally different collections, which is
Well, it's
not
because they're
helpful.
two different hobbies, really.
I know. Like, I like to buy the pretty hand painted yarn.
I also have the yarn
I
that we
don't know
got
this.
from Ancient Art Yarns, the Arctic Tundra, Arctic something.
Arctic. Yeah, that one.
That one. I wanna make that sweater too. All right, I'm resting my hand because my fingers are starting to hurt, which is the sign to stop.
That's alright, we only have 10 seconds left anyway.
Awesome stuff. Maybe I can get that second pocket sewn on tonight while I'm at D&D. With half the D&D table sick because of children, I'm staying at home and calling in.
That makes perfect sense.
Just because you are doesn't mean I have to be.
Oh, there was a Halloween dance party I was maybe going to go to tonight, but I don't think that I am.
No?
Don't think so. It involves driving to Guelph and wearing a costume.
Eh. Seems like too much work. I mean, your costume can be easy, but it seems like too much work.
I'll just do Halloween stuff on Halloween.
No. That makes sense to me.
Alright, the sprint is done. It was done a moment ago, but I just had to get my last stitch in there.
It's okay.
So I have most of a Triceratops.
Ooh.
He's so
That's
cute.
coming along nicely. I do like that
Yeah.
little extra frill in the horn and nose color. Like that's just sharp.
There we go.
Gives it just a
slightly.
little bit of extra detail. Looks real good. I likes it. I likes it.
Alright. Put that down. Go start that chicken.
Yes. Well, you've got the power of the buttons, so
I do have the power of the buttons.
so we can wrap up the stream.
That sounds like a thing that we should do, because I really gotta
We
go
should
start a
do that.
chicken.
Yes,
If I
you
want to
do.
eat before 8 p.m.
That would be a wise idea.
Yeah. Gotta go
Yeah.
learn about tomato rice.
All right, guys. This is the last recorded Sunday, and then next Sunday we're live.
Yep. Sunday the 5th.
Yup. 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 What were you supposed to be working on this month?
The My 4 cardigan.
Mine is a kid's sweater, so we'll see how we did. Real soon. Real soon. All right, guys.
Sorry. Little fancy
Mhm.
Triceratops. It's cute. They're so cute. One of them's totally blown out. That's okay.
It's fine. We can absolutely see the red one, so we know what we're looking at. Oh my god. Oh.
It looks good in real life.
It looks good real. They do.
It's just not doing well on camera today.
That's fine.
All right. Bye,
We're caught up on
everybody.
chat.
We're caught
Bye.
up on chat.